Prepare to witness the power of this fully operational podcast.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Hey kids, don't get cocky!
I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne. Let my armies be the rocks and the trees, the birds in the sky.
Hey, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Come on, let's get nuts.
Hello and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Friggin Nerds Podcast. As always, I'm Mario Lima, and across from me is
James Finch.
and we have a very special guest today. We never have guests on the show.
Hello, gents.
My
How's it going?
my old college buddy, Mr. AdyWan, also known as Dylan.
The five greatest rappers of all time.
Spits hot
Spit
fire.
hot fire.
AdyWan, and AdyWan.
Sorry, I hit the mic.
Oh, no, you're
My
fine.
mistake.
You're fine. I think we're in a little hot. We're fine.
Spit hot fire.
Spit the hot fire, man. So we have quite the topic to talk about today, man. We've been talking about doing the show for a few weeks.
That's right,
and
guys. It's Wonder, the new movie with Julia Roberts, right?
Oh my god,
I'm waiting for that.
what a film!
Nailed it.
Julia Roberts.
I heard it's actually pretty good, though.
Yeah, I heard some acute.
It's like
reviews
Pretty
about it.
Woman all over again.
Except with an ugly kid. I mean, sorry.
But no, man, we're gonna talk about a little indie film called Star Wars: Last Jedi.
I don't watch
My
independent
God,
films.
no independent
Guys, I
films.
thought we were
Fucking
here to
hipster.
talk about blockbusters.
What?
Specifically blockbuster videos.
Oh,
Hipsters are all over that.
He's an anti-hipster then.
Well,
very
we've
awkward.
all got the hipster beards going.
He's not going to catch you like in Trinity wearing a flannel, drinking an IPA.
Oh, no, definitely
glasses and
not.
a
Definitely
beanie
not.
on
I had to think of that. I'm like, I'm not a member of the Justice League. But, the bar, Trinity.
But anyways, I'm not sure how we should do this, man. I think we should go around full circle. I talked to James plenty about the movie. I haven't. Literally, Dylan on Facebook was like, "Let's talk about Last Jedi." I'm like, "What are you doing tomorrow
With
night?"
whoever. Just I'd waited so long to see it that.
When did you see it? You saw it last
I
night?
saw it. What's today?
You saw it.
Today's
Today's
Thursday.
Thursday.
So I saw. Wait, today's Thursday, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Monday.
Oh yeah, so I saw it Tuesday.
You saw it Tuesday
Yes.
night.
Wow. Sorry, it slipped away from me what day it was.
Yeah, I went to go check it out. I went the night before. Like it's technically opening the Thursday night before it came out. I went to a showcase in Swansea, so that was very eventful. It was like a stadium, man. The people went nuts. You know, applause,
Very cool.
cheers. Very cool, man. So I think just go around the bar, man. We'll start with James, and let's give me like your general, feelings about the movie, and we'll discuss after.
Sorry about the very cool. That was.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was a much better film than The Force Awakens. It was very well-rounded. It wasn't quite Empire Strikes Back. And that's what I liked about it most because, as you know, The Force Awakens was A New Hope, just with new characters. Droid wandering through the desert with secret plans.
Yeah.
That's A New Hope.
That's agreeable.
And, Rey was the new Luke.
In some respects.
Yeah.
So that's a positive little review. Dylan, how did you feel about this picture?
Drop my bag. It's for later. I
His
guess.
lunch.
Treats.
Treats, indeed. Boy, it was different. That might have been. I don't know. It's just. Oh boy. Okay. I came here to talk about this. I'm like, well, I don't know. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
My father asked me what I thought of it because my first memory ever of going to the movies was to see Phantom Menace. He and his girlfriend at the time took me to see Phantom Menace when I was a kid, and that clicked with me. So everyone since then, my dad and I have gone to see at some point.
Not special.
So we saw. The only one we didn't see was Rogue One because he was away.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. When my father asked me how Last Jedi was, the only takeaway I could give him, I said, may I spoil something? Or too early to start spoiling?
Oh, you could.
No,
this
no.
is
It's not really a spoiler, but it's just
disclaimer. This is going to be a
Yeah.
spoiler-filled podcast. It's
Yeah.
been a week.
Yeah, well, I mean, come
Yeah.
on. This is a Star Wars podcast. Well,
Oh,
not
yeah.
a Star Wars podcast, but
Today
this
it's
is what
Star
brought
Wars.
us all together.
I'm not going to be that guy. Well, if you haven't seen it, because I took a long time to see it. But the way I described it to my dad, I said, "This is a different Star Wars movie." He said, "How?" I said, "Luke Skywalker milks a tit and drinks it."
That was very disturbing.
I thought it was kind of fun. I finally.
It was green, yes, it was. At first, I thought it was blue. I thought it was the
That's-
fabled origin of the blue milk.
That's
but then,
what I thought, and I thought that would have been
maybe.
awesome.
I
right?
guess
There's different
from
milks.
I know.
hearing other people talk about it, I guess it turned out to be green. I
No,
have to go watch it
it's
again.
I
green.
watched it twice and I did see it was.
I need to
green.
go see it a second time.
It's green, but like I thought it would have been fucking awesome if it was blue, because it would have been like an homage. To,
Well, then you would wonder how they were able to get blue milk on a desert planet when it came from a nice paradise island, essentially.
I always thought it was banthas that like you get the milk from them. So I don't know what.
I
creature...
thought it was Uncle Owen milk. I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
you can milk anything with nipples. Then why were you looking at pumps?
That movie was on the other day, and I was
love that
working.
movie.
And,
I love that movie.
the only time I watch cable television is when I'm working, and I had it on because on Comedy Central, and I forgot how good of a movie that was.
That's a
I know,
fun
man.
movie. That's a really fun movie. We should do a whole review on that
Yeah.
movie one day.
Well, it does suffer from a lot of the early 2000 romantic comedy tropes of its time. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, I'm Owen Wilson. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, that honestly, that scene where Luke drinks the milk and then basically looks right at the camera and gives you a wild-eyed
It's like running
smile.
down his
that's
beard.
like
It's
that's
like,
good
"Ah."
milk.
And then the creature looks at Ray like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it
Getting
feels good.
fucking
I have
milked.
engorged nipples, and Luke Skywalker eases the tension. Because for some reason my babies aren't around, and these porgs just don't do it for me. Though I will say it was disappointing that a porg didn't get stabbed through the face. I didn't have any problems with the porgs. They were just a thing that was in the
What
movie.
about Chewbacca eating two of them?
All right, that scene bothered me.
Why?
Because here's my breakdown of that scene. Chewbacca's got one that's cooked, ready to go. He's about to dig into it. That means he killed it and cooked it already.
Yeah.
And all these porgs are looking around terrified. So first off, through the entire killing and cooking process, Chewbacca is now only now noticing the feelings and emotions of all these other animals. But also, in the scene ends with the last porg looking so sad, he scares it away, but then he looks down at his cooked porg, and he's like, "I'm not eating this," and throws it. You just made it worse, man. You probably killed that thing's mother and cooked it, and now you're not even going to eat it. You're just wasting it, and it's just awful. So that I did have a problem with that humorous scene because of the logistics, in the sense of like, I'm not a vegetarian in any sense, but I think it's a worse crime to look a vegetarian in the face and then throw meat away. Like, oh, fine, I'm not eating this burger, and it's even more of a you know.
There was
Can
a
we
lot
swear?
of.
Can I swear?
You could, yeah.
It's more of a fuck you. Anyway.
There's a lot of fuck yous in that
There's
movie.
a fuck you, pork. I killed your mother, and I cooked it, and now I'm not even going to eat it.
Yeah, my mother-in-law only listens to the show when she does yoga, so.
So we got to time it perfectly. So about how far into her routine does she get into a headstand? So we scare the bejesus out of her.
Boo. But yeah, so I mean, so far so good. Positive, somewhat around.
I
like
was
that.
positive
There's
about
some negatives that I didn't like. I didn't like.
yeah. I mean,
like I said to
it.
you.
We want to tackle one thing at a time in terms of like
Yeah.
positivity or
like I'll explain
negativity
my good.
Yeah.
Because I've been battling off people on social media all week about this movie, and it's really
It's fucking
ridiculous.
killing me, man.
People are signing petitions, get it off the cannon, do this, and
Really?
people are going bananas.
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
they
man.
hate this movie. Some people.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it
I-
either.
I-
I
there's a
enjoyed
lot
it.
I didn't like, but I think that's gonna happen with. And there's a lot I didn't like about Force Awakens. A lot I didn't like about Rogue One. There's a lot I don't like about the original trilogy when it comes down to it. You know?
Yeah, I was mentioning
Less
to him,
things, of
Yeah,
course. but-
you just said that.
Every Star Wars movie has an issue,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make them bad movies.
I'll if I can pull an example for I was watching Empire last night with my girlfriend, and we got about halfway through, and the scene where Luke crashes on Dagobah, and R2 falls into the swamp, and his little eye pops. R2, that way, and the look on his face, and the scene is fine, but the look on his face is just like, this scene is baloney. Like, and he's just not. He really is like, it's like he's acting with the Muppets on SNL. It doesn't like, it's not nearly that bad when he is with Yoda. But there's little scenes sprinkled out. It's like, that was their attempt to make us laugh, in a sense, or be cute for the kids in the way that all the movies do it at one point or another. I just touched the mic again. Sorry.
That's fine.
Again, watching Empire again, a lot of jokes land where like Han and Chewie are trying to fix the Falcon in mid-flight while they're trying to evade the Star Destroyers, and everything falls on Han. Small joke, you know what I mean? Like, Chewie just leaves it in a bad place and it falls on him. It's a fun little joke, and I think it was. I don't know what my point with that is. It's a nice. It's a crazy comparison, because watching Last Jedi one day and then Empire Strikes Back the next day, seeing the comparisons. Whereas Last Jedi goes for so many laughs, very apparently, like fire on that person, and then Huck's gonna fire on that person, and they just look like, what?
Did you hit him?
Oh, what? It's a tiger shark. Oh, what?
Yeah, and I mean, I had no issue with that, because a lot of people were kind of negative about that, saying, "Oh, it's too funny." You never laughed at a Star Wars movie? Like,
no, I think this movie just handles the jokes a little differently. Whereas,
in a
the
world where
trilogy,
it's like in a world where you have a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I
Yeah.
mean, people are expecting that in a space movie, so it's like, let's make another funny space movie. You know what I mean?
and this one started right off with a good joke. I must
Yeah.
say, I did enjoy the please hold joke. Am I still holding?
Oh yeah,
Like-
Well, I mean, Force Awakens was like that too. Remember, Poe is like, so do
You start,
talk
I
first,
start,
or,
yeah.
or do I talk? How does this work?
I think they took that to that, like, that's a joke on 10%. Let's ramp it up to 90
Yeah.
and see what it does. And then episode 9, it'll be over 150%.
That's what it felt like too to me.
yeah. I mean,
The
I
movie,
mind
the
it.
first movie started off with Poe telling a joke. Well, not a joke, but joking around with Kylo Ren, and now it started off with Poe joking with Hux.
Yeah.
Poe fucking everybody.
Yeah, they'll start with 9 with a joke, but it'll be like he slips on a pie or something. Like, no, he slips on a banana, gets a pie thrown in his face, excuse me. Or no, they flip it on its head. He slips on a pie and gets a banana thrown in his face.
Someone get him a glass of green milk.
Yeah, right. Fresh, please.
Freshly
Fresh.
squeezed.
He just cuts back to Luke. That's good milk.
Got milk. He's
Got
got a
milk, kid.
green stash. Disturbing.
But yeah, man, with my thoughts on the movie was just, I enjoyed it. The night I went to go see, I saw it twice. First time with my girlfriend and a bunch of other friends, all very hardcore Star Wars fans. So it was kind of cool to see that, and all positive responses. Then the second time I went was with my girlfriend and her parents. So I was like, oh, let's see this through the eyes of somebody who saw the movie in '77. Because I think
Not obsessed with it.
not obsessed with it, but they're fans.
knowledge.
They've seen the old ones. They know how they roll, and they loved it. They were like, I had a good time. And some, I think at one point he said, her dad said, yeah, I felt like I was back in the '70s for a couple of those scenes.
With
You
all
know
those
what I mean?
2017 special effects. Also, you realize that? It's been 40 years.
Yeah.
40
fucking
years.
My boss and his wife, that was their first date.
Really?
They went and
Wow.
saw the original. They went
original.
and saw New Hope in
Really?
theaters.
Wasn't New Hope then either.
Yeah, it was
just
Star Wars.
Just Star Wars.
Yeah,
Can you
that's right,
imagine living in
yeah.
that time where Star Wars is coming out and we don't even know what that means?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
A New Hope. What is that?
Fox was like, George Lucas, this is the dumbest idea ever. And then they're like, yeah, we don't want rights to it. Like, we think it's dumb, but we'll back
Have
it.
you ever heard the story of his merchandising?
Mistake.
He paid for it all himself
Yeah.
because nobody would. But also he's like, I have. It wasn't there was no merchandising back in. I mean, there was for a little while. Like, every now and then you'd have a movie lunchbox or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
nobody
the sense
really
of
wanted his shit.
So I guess he pulled like $10,000 or something. I'm probably wrong on the figures, but just to do all the promotion himself, action figures, lunchboxes, posters, toys, all that stuff, and that's why the first run of Star Wars action figures, you were sold a box, It's just a box. It's going to come with these action figures for Christmas. You buy the box now. For Christmas, you get the action figures. Because there's no money. He didn't have any money. So he's like, I'm going to print these boxes, and the hype will go up enough for the movie that kids will want the boxes, and by Christmas I'll have enough money to print. Or by, Thanksgiving I'll have enough money to make these toys and get them out for Christmas or whatever.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also, something I learned today. I'm maybe wrong. I don't know. You might have to fact check it on your Google there, and your giggle. But apparently the porgs, the only reason that those exist in the movie, because if you notice, they really serve no purpose at all. They don't, not in the sense of they're useless, but they just don't. They're there. They just don't contribute to any large plot points. It's just they're there. Apparently, the island that they shot those scenes on is a puffin sanctuary. And it would have been cheaper to put something over the puffins, than to remove them with CGI.
Huh.
Really?
I wonder if that's true.
I don't know how true it is. You'd have to Google it, but that's what I was told today.
Yeah, we got Jill in the corner.
Jill's Googling it for us.
I mean, I could believe that. Yeah, I'm pro porg, man.
I mean, as it's been proven, it's cheaper to put a CGI mustache on than to put a CGI upper lip on.
Oh yeah, our boy, we talked about that in the episode. Right?
Yeah,
we had a Clark Kent episode.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, we yapped about that for like a half hour. Yeah, I'm pro porg, and
yeah, they're not.
All the creatures were kind of cool in the movie. I love
Except
those.
the milking thing. That was so
honestly,
weird.
that was a cool creature design too. I got to admit. And
you just
excuse me, that was the first time you saw a
looking
boob
at
in
Ray,
Star Wars.
like, yeah, you see him tugging on my nips, my
wants some
engorged
too.
Oh
nips.
yeah, he was that alien was. Oh,
You
yes.
Missy, you're
Please.
next.
You
You want,
My-
you want some milk?
Ray, it's your turn. It's part of your training.
You need to suck on these nipples.
Can you milk them without touching them? That's the key.
Use the fork.
Yes, exactly.
Reach out.
Just imagine if that.
You feel that? You feel that? That's a nipple.
Imagine if the montage where he sits her on the rock and you just feel everything, and she sees the rain and the fire and the grass growing. Imagine if you just there's a quick shot of nipples, and just milk squirting out of it for a split second, and it's like,
You got an answer for us, Joe?
Did you get it?
They are inspired by puffins.
was the island a puffin sanctuary?
That live on Skellig Michael. I'm guessing that's the.
'Cause that was in Ireland, right? They shot that island.
Puffins are native to New Zealand.
Huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did a lot of filming there. I'm sure because of Lord of the Rings, it offers lots of tax breaks for people filming there.
I think.
Ireland.
Oh, it was in Ireland. Okay.
Oh yeah, because Alicia's mom went to the island.
That island?
They don't get to like really go like where they like. I was like, oh, did you get to stand where Luke stood?
Did you get
It's
any
like,
milk?
No, there was no milk. But like, she got to like kind of walk. They had like
That's
all the
fucking
steps.
This
and
was after
everything.
Force Awakens?
After Force Awakens, so they now it's like Star Wars Island. You can go and
Oh,
visit
Jesus
it, and, like
Christ.
check out everything,
Oh,
make
yeah.
money off it now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
This fucking rock that we didn't care about before, now it's fucking tourist attraction.
Well, I guess it might have been surely there was something on it. Like
Yeah.
there must have been like there must be a lighthouse.
I think those steps were natural. Like all those like weird ones they see Ray go out and up. Those were there for something.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they embellished those somehow.
What do you think of the caretakers? Those
The
whale
caretakers?
creatures.
At first, actually, Andrew Lima, you know Andrew Lima. I'm actually doing a
Yeah.
project with him right now. We're working on a band together, and we have
Wait, what?
We're doing like a
Andrew, you hit me up, you son of a gun. Why do you never hit me up?
I'll have him listen to the podcast. and hit you.
Double Limas and no Titus. What are you doing? What are you doing, bud?
It's like a backing band.
I miss
thing.
you.
Yeah, I mentioned your name the other day, and he's I mentioned your name the other day, and he's like, I love that kid. So
I
much."
love you too, buddy. Why aren't we making more music? You hit me up for the I'm talking directly to you, like you live in the microphone. You hit me up to do You hit me up to do a Chester Bennington tribute album. And because I'm not the biggest Linkin Park fan, there's nothing I could contribute directly like myself, but I told you I'd be happy to help you with any track you were working on. And then you never got back to me. And I'm like, did he? Oh, man. I want to work with you again, bud. I miss you.
We're gonna get you guys together.
We got to get together. And we got to make music because all we just jam on Metallica stuff when we get together. So we got to get together and make music.
We jam on 80s stuff. Like it's like I can't do much detail about my friend Lauren. She put an album out. We're kind of like her backing band. So we're working together on that. Because I was like, hey, I told Lauren, I know a kid who's pretty rocking, and then like we got him and a couple other guys. So I got to see a little bit more of him. So we always
Get in touch with me, Andrew. I miss you, bud.
We'll get together. But he made me laugh the other day because he actually texted me a picture of a caretaker. Going back to the movie, and I forgot what he wrote under it, but he wrote like some like.
You got your phone right there.
It was like some Portuguese grandmother thing, and so now I see it like it's kind of like Medea, guys, you like Skywalker.
No, I help.
We're just thinking of like a little backing scene. Like there should be like a scene where like they.
What is it?
Oh, what's that?
We got more info.
He's right.
Was I right?
There were puffins on the island, and it was easier to include them in the story than to get the birds. It was easier. I don't know about money-wise.
Well, it
was easier to get the birds digitally than to get the birds digitally removed.
Yeah. Plus, then you'd have to pay someone to, even if you weren't going to digitally remove them, it's like to round them up and keep them safe and secure for however many days they're shooting for. And they shot a lot on this island, so
yeah,
I can imagine just get the puffins in the shot, or just cover it with a porg.
The island is covered in puffins. It's a wildlife preserve, and everywhere you look, there are Khadijah's birds dotted around the landscape.
Wow, yeah, just cover them in porgs.
Well, there you go.
Though I'm sure they did have to remove a few so that there weren't like 1,000 porgs in
Yeah,
each
there's probably a lot of them on that
Far
fucking
away
island.
enough, maybe you could
True.
make them out. Where
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
That's why I spent half their money.
I wonder how many porgs died making that movie.
None.
Porgs are hit.
A little detail at the end. No porgs were harmed in the making of this film.
Besides the two that
Well,
Chewbacca
I wonder if
killed.
I wonder if that is something at the end of the credits, because there's no post-credit scene, so it's
Yeah, I didn't pay
less
attention.
incentive to stay. But,
After the Carrie Fisher thing, I walked out.
that was very nice, and especially how the music drops out to be Leia's theme on the piano. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's that's right here. That's coming up next.
Yeah,
We're
well,
just
Oh,
about-
that
She doesn't
moment.
have Jedi powers.
All right,
But
all right.
she pulls herself.
Do we want to talk about this while
We'll
we're on it?
push onto more negative things towards the end.
Oh, you mean pull into more
And like
or
and
fly
all
into
that
more
stuff.
negative things, or
We'll fly into something.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Have you guys seen the video of him edited into Mary Poppins?
Oh, so
Yondu
funny.
edited into Mary Poppins. It's wonderful. Also, Tommy Wiseau edited into Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Delightful.
Oh hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, doggy.
What was I talking about
A
before
cheap, cheap
that?
chicken.
Oh, the
cheap, cheap.
caretakers. So yeah, so now I call them basically the Vavos of. So I
Is
love
that a
them,
name
though.
for grandmother? Or
Yeah,
like
Portuguese
memory?
grandmother. They look like they look like my grandmother, all of them.
My
I can
roommate.
just see them
They're
like
like
outside.
fish whales things.
Like Andrew was
Creatures.
saying, like imagine a scene where they're in the background, like when Rey and Kylo are like force touching, and like, oh, good looking over here.
with a basket of laundry.
Yeah, there's folding laundry and like, Kylo Ren, boy, get out of here. I have a little background. I want a solo movie with those.
Yeah.
little
Oh
gals.
man, I'm too white. I got to admit. But my last roommate was Portuguese, and his grandmother was our landlord. And so yes, that's all I can see now. Is she was like 5'2", just always disapprove. Johnny.
No gosto. The
So-
smoking marijuana.
So negatives.
She's great. She was a sweetheart.
Negatives about the movie.
We're
What
talking that. I mean, so
Well, there's still a lot of positives to talk about. Definitely.
yeah,
I'd say.
it's still more positive.
Or do we want to? Do, I,
definitely- yeah,
why
definitely.
I don't even know. I was like, let's go into positive and negatives, because that's all. Everyone's got a different set of positive and negatives. I guess maybe we should go story beat by story beat.
See, there's so much negatives about the movie. I think we should have gotten that out of the way.
Okay, let's.
Well, I mean, let's bang through the whole movie. Let's start and talk about certain scenes at the beginning. Like let's talk about the Dreadnought scene for one.
Ooh, can I start real quick?
you can start off.
Sorry, I apologize.
no,
So
go
we'll
for it.
go this way.
Go for it.
Light
Go
the
for it,
torch.
man.
That opening shot was meant for 3D.
I saw it in 3D.
You did.
I did.
IMAX or regular 3D?
That is the only 3D effect in the whole movie.
I saw it in 3D. I saw it at the AMC in Dartmouth.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't.
you got the comfy seats.
Yeah, recliners.
Oh boy.
They're fucking dope.
They're
I
super
don't
nice.
know if I could see a Star Wars movie in 3D. Just
I mean,
It's-
I have. I'll explain that later, but I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of 3D because Like I said, I'll explain it later. But
good. Uh-huh.
it was cool. I mean,
Force Awakens was fun in 3D. I saw it 3 times. The
I could
second time was
imagine.
in 3D.
I didn't see it in 3D. There's nothing in that movie to be 3D. The only but in Last Jedi, that opening shot where you're just plummeting through. It's like, you guys ever play Lego Marvel superheroes?
Yeah.
There's the home base is the oh boy.
Ooh, cracking one open.
Ship. What's the flying ship? Helicarrier.
Yeah.
So that's the video game home, and to get to explore into the rest of the video game, you jump off the helicarrier, and there's just a lot of rings of Legos to collect as you fall down, just like skydiving. And that's the impression I got off this first shot of Last Jedi. I'm like, it feels like I'm playing Lego Marvel superheroes right now.
Yeah, I think it definitely felt fine.
And it was, I all I could feel was like, this is lacking 3D because this shot was made for 3D.
But no, if you see, I got the Force Awakens like collector's edition 3D box set thing, and we have a 3D TV at the house, and just seeing it.
What?
Like what?
Oh,
you spill some.
the first sip.
Oh, first sip's always the best one. No, that Falcon chase in Jakku, that looks great in 3D.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That like the Falcon, like
bet.
when it like cuts out and they go down.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
my
I
God.
do like that moment where the gun is stuck.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
I feel like the Falcon's right in my face. But going into the new movie, yeah, I mean, I think this was definitely
Falcon in your face.
Falcon face. Definitely was it. I saw some things I never saw in a Star Wars movie. I thought it was kind of interesting to see Poe hit the e-brake on a X-wing.
I need to go back and revisit that. Apparently, I forget about it.
He like when they take BB-8 finally like plugs up all the little ports and fixes the rocket launcher on the X-wing.
Yeah,
he takes it down and then like Poe like slaps the side of the cockpit and like basically hits the e-brake and like whips around and it goes the other way and all the TIE fighters like, whoa, you know.
I'd have to watch that again.
And I've never seen that happen in a Star Wars movie.
I still need to go back and see it a second time. So these are the little things I'm missing.
There's a lot of things I caught a second time, but like I thought that whole first sequence was very cool. Just seeing, you know, just seeing like, you know, Leia coming back and like, you know, having that weird confrontation with her and Poe, and like Poe's a bad boy, and like, no, I gotta destroy this dreadnought.
Fly boy.
Yeah, that was nice how she trusted him through it all, though, too. It was like, yeah, you're an asshole, but I trust you're going to make a good decision, if not the right decision. Like, the right decision gets no one killed. You'll make a good decision that helps our cause, but it's going to get a lot of us killed. It's like, yeah, definitely go attack the enemy. You got to do it smarter than that, kind of.
Yeah.
I like that mentality of, like, or that dynamic between them. She's like, I've been through this I was you, and I was reckless, and I was you at some point, even though she's more the cautious one. But even like she respects his young go get him kind of attitude, even if she's got to curb it every now and then. I like that. And she says at the end, like, don't listen to me, follow him. Like, why are you guys looking at me?
Yeah, it gives him the fucking reins in the movie.
And I do like how when she comes back, she shoots Poe and stuns him. She's like, I like that because it shows that.
Oh, when she wakes up from her coma.
Yeah, it shows that she knows that. Again, you think you're doing the right thing and you're doing the good thing, but just shut up, kid. Kind of like sit down and let the adults do this.
Seriously.
Sometimes,
But yeah, going into that, like we talked about before, I thought humor was pretty cool here. I love the Poe and Hux exchange.
Please hold.
Was great. Even Snoke kind of giving him like, it's like Snoke's calling you now. It's like, oh, I'll take it to my office.
And then he just shows up
and slams him on the ground.
I did like that. I very much did like that.
That was totally fun. And it's great to see Snoke. We'll talk about Snoke too. That was that was a weird thing. But what else did you take from the first act there, James?
What do you mean?
From the first
call it the first half hour.
Yeah.
That'd be a fifth.
So it was definitely a very long sequence. Like, I thought.
Yeah, that went
the
on for a while.
Dreadnought scene.
Yeah, it went on for a while. It's almost like 20 minutes long.
You know, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think people are reading way too much into it. They're like, oh, like how do they drop bombs in space and if stuff
Yeah, right.
explodes? And it's like, well, a ship that fucking big has to have some kind of like gravitational pull.
Yeah.
You know, like it's fucking huge.
I always think of it as Star Trek is good for the physics. Star Wars is not. Star Wars is just tell a good story. You know, and Star Trek is like, we'll tell as good of a story as we can with these
We're gonna
scientific
explain
principles.
it though, 'cause
Yeah.
we have Spock, and he's
But
gonna
it's
explain
usually
everything.
more feasible in a Star Trek
It's a lot more
scenario.
feasible.
You know what I mean? Like in any, be it the show or the movie or a comic or anything, like it's always more plausible, and you're like, this could happen. Whereas with Star Wars, it's just like, just let it happen. Like I was also thinking, I'm like, when I saw that, I'm
Fuck
like,
it.
how are bombs falling? How are they not just
Yeah, they went down like rocks.
staying right in place? Yeah. Well, I'm thinking they got to be some weighted or something, but it doesn't matter because it's a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? It's like it's always
like I said though, the ship is fucking huge. It's got to have some kind of tiny gravitational pull.
I did like how the bombers look like big pistols.
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And they move so slow. Like,
Yes.
they're like, all right, everyone protect them. Like half hour later, like, okay, we're almost there.
I did like how they all basically blew each other up. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you shouldn't put all your bombers close to each other. Should kind of spread them out.
Just
If
a
one
little-
goes
just a
down, it
little
might hit
bit.
the others, and they're all full of active bombs. So,
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean,
also, I was waiting for when the sister. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No,
There's
that's
a lot
fine.
I liked.
no,
and
we like
enjoy-
details.
Like,
we like
yes.
I
meat.
really, my brain was hoping because it implied that all the ships were active, and when they kept hitting each other, each one blew up in succession. So when the girl gets knocked down to Rose's sister there gets knocked down to the bottom level, she kicks the wall, and my brain goes, that should have set off all the bombs.
Hits one by accident.
Yeah, they just all fall on her and poof. It's like, oh, they all exploded inside. Damn it.
No, I was like,
So
oh,
Rose is
cool,
supposed to be like the new Jar Jar.
Yes, that's what I got out of that.
That's what she's supposed to be.
yeah.
That's
She
well, that's
annoyed
what I
me.
was reading.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about her character. I
No.
felt like she was
The random kiss.
Isn't it nice we
The random-
saved
the random
saved an
kiss.
animal? Isn't that nice in the larger scheme of things?
a lot of
Oh, yeah.
animal
You know
activism in
how
this.
thousands of people could die if we don't move our asses right now? Let's save some ponies. It makes everything better.
I would have
Pony
liked to have seen
Falcons.
Lando like gambling.
That
Yes,
was my
would-
thing.
That was
For that casino
waiting for
scene,
that.
I'll take a quick right turn. Because that casino scene to me felt like it was not-
Perfect.
unnecessary.
oh, very much so.
But like I
Would
thought,
have made it necessary was Lando.
Yeah, yes, that would have turned it into a scene.
If he was
by
the code
having-
breaker, not even the code breaker, just him in the fucking casino.
well, I thought it'd be
gambling.
funny if you made him the code breaker and just have him like he's kind of sitting there with some girl and he's rolling the dice and shitty roll. These rolls keep getting worse all the time. And then, it's the only time you see him. Like,
That was a good Billy D.
it'd be like a Stan Lee cameo. You just see him for a second, that's it. But I read an article apparently that they couldn't get Billy D apparently to sign on for whatever reason.
Well, I gotta say, I saw him at Comic Con.
He
He's
looked
not
rough.
looking good at all.
No.
but he did do the voice for Lando in the new Battlefront.
Yes,
game.
he
So
did.
it's
But
not
he
like-
also did the voice for Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie. It's not hard to put an 80-year-old man in a vocal booth.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
But you
Just be
can
like,
get-
and balls
just-
your voice up a bit.
just
get him to
wheel
sit
him in
down.
there.
Exactly. Honestly, I must admit though, like he's a good-looking man, but he was not looking so spry when I saw him at Comic Con. I didn't go meet him or anything.
Rhode Island.
Yeah,
Last year he
but
went.
he was
Oh,
he was
okay.
looking a little tired.
Speaking of old men, happy birthday, Stanley.
Happy birthday, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee, the man, 95.
95.
This
Still
guy.
doing it.
He's still making those cameos. He's still making. them
Probably
all.
not anymore. They probably finished filming them all. They probably filmed
he did.
48 cameos,
Yeah, he
just
started like
interchangeable. Like they're
He's in
prob-
one green. Okay, put on the coat on.
Yeah, right.
Let's keep on doing.
You know
this
what they
thing.
probably did? Is they probably filmed like a good handful of them, because logically, I mean, going forward, you probably have, let's say, a slate of 20 Marvel movies that you can do before it's over. They probably filmed 60 different cameos so that they have four or five options
just in
with
case,
everyone.
Stanley, put this jacket on because I think we're gonna buy Fox.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Remind me about that later.
Oh yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
have to.
You
talk
got to
about
hear
that.
his Fantastic Four pitch.
Oh boy.
But
He
Yeah.
loves fan-
let's
he's a-
wars. We're getting off
Wars.
topic.
We're gonna-
Wars.
we'll go back
We'll
to
get
him.
back. We'll get back.
I
to
want
that.
So when Reed Richards meet Luke Skywalker,
that would have made the movie interesting. So let's see what happens after the
Stretch
dreadnought.
out with your feelings, Reed. Oh, Jesus, what's happening?
He's
dreadnought
He's like on the other
Milking
side of the island.
it
He's
from
milking.
the other side of the island.
The student has become the master.
Would you like some green milk?
My
Wait
arm-
1 minute.
My arm stretched through a wormhole now.
All right, my arm's
now
back.
I'm
Here you
milking
go.
this creature.
They can track my arm
Come
through
here, little
hyperspace.
puffin.
Little puffin.
Little porg. Have
Okay.
some green milk.
So what happens after the dreadnought scene? We go into
Ray.
Ooh,
Well, we
that
see
opening
Finn.
sequence, I must say, that's the most action-packed opening sequence since Revenge of the Sith. It's kind of the same, because they both start with big space battles that go on for a long time, like damn near 20 minutes.
I was hoping they were gonna do something like that because like some people were saying, oh, it's gonna start right where Force Awakens, like it's gonna open with Luke and Rey. I'm like, you shouldn't do that because it's traditional to be starting out in space,
Yeah.
and you see a ship go by or something. So
Yeah, it's
something's
always
gotta
how it
happen.
starts.
So I thought this is very brand new. That whole drop of going in and like you feel like it's okay. Here we go. We're plunging into this movie. It's time, you know. And you felt your heart racing already with 3 seconds into the fucking movie.
Yeah. It would have been so weird to start it on Luke and
Yeah,
Rey.
yeah.
The way they did it was
I
better.
don't think Ryan Johnson did a bad job at all. I
No,
think he did
no.
okay. I think he did good.
Like he knows his wars, but I mean,
I think
obviously
he did better than JJ.
I'm a
JJ
big fan of
played it
Looper
safe.
personally, so I was very much looking forward to it
Oh
because
my
I knew
god,
that
man! I fucking love
Looper's
Looper.
a great movie.
I must have watched Looper. Okay, now we're getting off topic.
No, we're on topic.
No,
We're on
you
topic.
kind of catch some Looper-esque shit in there, like the
Yeah,
rocks,
the rocks
kind of
floating.
going up a little bit. So a couple effects in there.
Also,
God, I
I
fucking
think
love Looper. That was such a good
the-
movie. Underrated as hell too.
Yeah, very much so. There's because that's the only film of his I've seen. I guess Brick is a good movie of his as well. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. But I really like Looper, so when I heard that he was directing 8 instead of J.J. Abrams, I was excited because I
Yeah.
knew that it was going to be
Me too.
different because Looper gave me a world where, oh no, you're stealing my bike. Here's my shotgun. Boom, you're dead. Like I liked the world that it created. And
Yeah.
The rules that it set in place and then played with.
You want to go to
and-
China? I'm from the future.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that.
I'm going to Paris.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Yeah, you
Fuck
do.
it. All right, go to Paris.
Jeff Daniels. I do like Jeff Daniels in that movie. Everyone's good in that movie.
that
Emily
movie's
Blunt.
so-
She's
the
great in that
movie's-
movie.
So fucking good, man. If you haven't seen Looper, go see it because you're
Definitely.
fucking missing out. You can get a
Definitely.
$7 bin at Walmart, people, on Blu-ray.
It's probably on Netflix, I think, or Amazon Prime.
I
or
think it was
one
on
of the
I
streaming.
think it was on
services.
Netflix for a little bit.
Buy it. It's worth buying. It's
It's
worth
definitely worth buying.
Fine.
Throw it in the collection because it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. Definitely.
But Star Wars.
Yes. Sorry.
I was distracted by your movie collection. I'm like, I'll just repeat you.
Oh, he's
It's
got-
worth it.
That's some of
He's
it.
got movies.
That's some of it.
Fair enough.
He cleaned out Blockbuster. Movie stop, whatever.
The Blu-rays are in the other room.
Nice.
But so after that, so we see Finn again, which
In
was
his
a
wetsuit.
his naked wetsuit. He's like,
That's
yeah,
funny.
Where's Ray? And I thought that was a nice little transition to get into the whole Luke scene, and we get a very
Where's Ray? I'm just curious. I mean, I don't like her. I just like you. So, I mean, where's Ray? I want to make sure she doesn't barge in while we're.
How are you?
going
Are
to
you
town
are
on
you
each
good?
other.
I know you can take care of yourself, Poe, not the person that can fucking move shit with her
Yeah,
mind.
right. Yeah, gotta make sure she's okay.
Even
And
though
then
you
we'll-
like
and then we'll
almost,
snuggle, Poe.
You've almost died a few times, Poe, but I mean, where's Ray?
Actually, I
Seriously.
was talking about.
I almost died. I want to hit that.
Yeah, right. I was talking about Force Awakens with a coworker today, and got on the topic of lightsabers. We were talking about Finn specifically. Through every Star Wars movie, when somebody is hurt with a lightsaber, it is clean and fast, and it seems like it cuts you and it cauterizes the wound at the same time. So everyone, it hurt. Even Luke is like, "Ow!" Like that's it. You know, it's all you get. But you can attribute that to having adrenaline rushes, and you know what I mean. Like you're hanging on the edge of this pit, and you're face to face with the most evil man in the galaxy, as far as you know. So adrenaline rush might cut the pain for a bit, but just consistently throughout the Star Wars universe, Anakin gets his arm cut off. He's like, ugh. And it can't be just like, well, they're Jedi, they're trained for pain. No, pain hurts. like if you get your arm cut off, I don't care. It's gonna hurt you. And everyone in the movie is just, it's clean, fast. So like I said, it's probably instantly happens, and it cauterizes it. If we're going by the science of
Yeah,
a Star Wars
yeah.
movie, I loved in Force Awakens when Kylo and Finn are fighting, and he just digs the blade right into his shoulder, and Finn is screaming bloody murder because it hurts. And you wonder, my coworker and I are saying, to wonder what the implications of that blade are, because it's not clean. It's like fiery and sparky, and is a nice lightsaber like a clean, smooth, sharpened sword, and is Kylo Ren's like a rusty pickaxe kind of like?
Well, the crystal is cracked. The crystal it's unstable and it's cracked. That's why the sides of the saber that go out, people are like, why is that like that? It's because the crystal is so unstable that those are
coming out the sides anyway.
They're exhaust ports. All that extra like unstable power needs to be has to have exhaust, so they come out of the sides.
Was that in like the DK book, or?
Yeah,
I dig it.
I think I like read it on YouTube or watched it on YouTube.
Nice.
Someone explained
when I was a kid, I had all the DK encyclopedias for Star Wars. So awesome. I'm like, that's got to be where that comes from, because you think about it, they don't say any planet names in Star Wars. They barely say any character names. Like, what kind of animal is that? You don't know. When they say Wookiee in Star Wars, you don't even know they're talking about Chewbacca. Like, it's just like, these are words. Like, you never, in A New Hope, you never once hear Tatooine. Like, so these are all things I learned from the DK encyclopedias of Star Wars afterwards, Just like, ooh, that's that? Huh, I just thought it was...
They never said Ewok in the movie either.
Yeah, they don't ever say Ewok.
They never say Ewok. It's this cuddly bears, basically.
Never thought about that.
Never hear Ewok.
Yeah, in fact...
Wow, yeah.
It must have just been an outside of the movie kind of public knowledge thing, because they had 2 movies called Ewok Adventures or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, something like that.
Like, oh, that's what that's called. All right, where were we in the movie?
Oh, Finn. We see Finn. Sorry, I had to deviate with lightsabers. So his injury probably hurt bad.
This might have to be a 2-part episode because...
we can fit it all.
Well, how long are we in?
Oh, we're like, what, an hour?
Oh, we're good. We've done 2-hour episodes.
It's
really
almost an hour. It's 8:20 right now.
Wow.
Okay, so we see Finn. Where's Rey? We cut back to the island, and the thing we've been waiting for fucking 2 years kind of cuts out quick.
Oh, beautiful! He throws it right over his shoulder.
And walks away.
Love it.
Wasn't crazy about that part. Not gonna lie.
It's kind of funny.
I think it's like
my dad built this, but he was an asshole. So
I was really waiting for him when he paused and looked at it for a second. I was really waiting for him to say, "There was a hand with this. Did you find the hand?" I was waiting for that.
Did Maz have the hand? Was the hand there?
Yeah,
I've lost all the skin on this one.
Which also, will they? Now that they've spoiler for late. I mean, anyway, jumping ahead in the movie. They destroy the lightsaber. Does that mean we're never gonna find out how they got it back?
Because
you never find out how Maz had it.
Hey, you see Maz for a second, a really weird scene.
Yeah.
And also, is it to be... Because that lightsaber looks even better than it did in the prequels. You know what I mean? Like, it looked like a lightsaber handle in the original movies. Kind of like shitty and dirty and just was a prop. But then
Maz cleaned it.
Well, no, in the prequels they're shiny and gorgeous, as is everything in the prequels. But in Force Awakens it looks even better than it looks in the prequels. But that's me looking like, how's that lightsaber handle look? But are we to believe that the construction design of a lightsaber is so damn good that it can fall out of the sky at however many miles per second it's falling, not catch fire, and then hit the ground and not shatter into a million pieces? Because you don't catch it. You see it fall. Luke falls out. He catches the antenna, which, by God, is that a tense moment because he is just hanging in the sky.
Yeah.
But he sees his hand and his lightsaber fall down. Like, you see it. There's no one there to catch it. So that means that lightsaber falls and somebody's going to work on Bespin. And they're like, what a day. Clunk. Just killed by a falling lightsaber.
My girlfriend left me.
Yeah, right.
The rent's past due.
As if anything can't get worse.
55-inch flat screen. Dead.
What just hit me?
I just get killed by a lightsaber that wasn't activated.
It wasn't even on.
What the fuck?
Just falling at 100 miles per second.
I mean, and yeah, you think about it, that lightsaber has been through some fucking shit too.
It went through and after it landed, it got sold to a pawn shop. Somebody used it as a vibrator. You know what I mean?
It's killed many children.
Yeah, right.
It was a bug zapper.
But before he lost it. Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? Well,
you what
kids,
we're gonna do.
ice cream party. Also,
We're all gonna scream.
upon rewatching that scene, because I don't know why, but my brain clicked and I found it on YouTube and it was like, I'm going to watch this over and over. That kid's acting, not on his speech delivery, because that leaves a little to be desired because he was 6 or however old, but when that lightsaber goes on, that little movement backwards that the kid does is heartbreaking.
Right? It's kind of like, why did he just ignite his lightsaber? Like, oh, no.
Yeah, you see the fear in his eyes.
You know
like,
why? Because it
was somebody
he has the Force. He can sense it. He can sense that something bad is about to happen.
And also, he's a kid he's probably just experiencing these as senses that he can't separate as things. So it's probably like, this is somebody I trusted.
Yeah.
And now he's pulling a
and
weapon on us.
up to, and now he's gonna fucking kill me.
And
all
also,
all the rest of the Yinglings.
What? Yinglings. All these beers.
We saw security footage.
Anakin was killing those beers, bro.
Killing Yinglings.
He was wasted when he came out.
The cooler was empty.
You killed younglings. No, God, no. I was I brought a 24 case of Yinglings. Me and Obi-Wan were gonna hang out.
It was
He
a
wasn't
pony
there.
keg.
He wasn't there, and there was nobody else at the Jedi Temple. So I'm like, I'll just stay here and drink all these by myself and kill this whole 24 pack. Damn it! And then Padme starts choking because it's not easy being a pregnant woman. So she's like, starts choking and she's like, I'll help you. And he starts giving her the Force time, like, but it doesn't work.
Yes, that's
because
exactly what I
she's
was
like,
thinking.
you're a killer. He's like, oh, no, I didn't kill anyone, and I'm just trying to help you remove the food from your throat. And then he kills her.
Listen, this all looks really bad right now.
Yeah. And Obi-Wan's like, what have you done? And he's like, I don't know. What did I do?
Calm down, Ewan McGregor.
But also in that scene, you notice all the kids have lightsabers. They have the training lightsabers.
Yeah.
Which means those kids put up a fight. Like,
they tried to anyways.
They tried to, and it was just...
Did you see a scratch on Anakin?
Yeah.
I didn't
know. He took those kids down.
Jeez, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Really
Ice cream
dark
time.
Really
yeah, man,
dark
that was my
movie.
favorite one out of the prequels, I think.
It was the best.
It's the strongest of all.
Seeing
those
Vader
movies.
become Vader.
I got to admit, there's
got a
several
chubby, not gonna lie.
times that movie makes me...
No, we're watching Attack of the Clones. We're doing a
You're doing a marathon.
yeah, we're doing a marathon.
We finished Attack of the Clones last night.
No, we didn't. We're on.
You can skip it.
Yeah, that's
my.
That's
least,
always the one I'm
that's-
like-
That's my least favorite.
I always
It's
recommend...
just emo Anakin, like.
I don't like sand.
To-
It's coarse and
when
rough.
I talk to people about Star Wars,
It's my crack.
you have to if you're gonna take the experience proper, you got to watch 1 and 2. That's how it goes. But I say if you want to experience why people love Star Wars, all you need to watch is the Phantom edit and Attack of the Phantom, which are the fan edits that cuts them each down to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Far superior films.
He sent it to me like I think it was back in college or something.
Yeah.
And like I enjoyed those. I was like I called him like, dude, this is so good.
Yeah, they're much better. They cut it down to a straight hour and a half for each one, and it's just a movie. There's no meandering, and I hate sand, and there's no like.
When we were watching yesterday, and he was doing the little ride on the back of that animal, and he falls off of it and like rolls into the field and tries to get up and just falls down, and then Padme runs over to him. I was like,
and then
I'm
they tickle
standing
each
there,
other.
I'm
What
like, this is just so unnecessary.
yeah,
like,
those
this doesn't need to happen. This is
edits
dumb.
cut all that crap out. It gets it down to just the story that moves along. Like
Just like the green milk.
No, you
Just like
can't
the
cut
green
that
milk.
scene.
yeah, that one was. I think that was essential because it shows that Luke's been living on the. It shows that Luke's been living on the island so long that he's just because the look he gives the camera is like, that's good milk.
Creatures just
Also, yeah, I'm wondering that. Yeah, where'd he get him?
It's a primitive Luke.
And then you got the intense
got-
Jedi fishing with the
I did like the fishing.
20-story
I did too.
pole.
I was
hoping he'd
I
pull
thought
up
that
a
was
Gungan.
cool.
He looks back and he's like, "Be careful!" He's like, and he just kind of pole vaults over.
That was nice.
I thought he was going like save the little porgs on like the little nest.
I thought he
but
was
he's
like
"No, I'm fishing."
gonna continue on with his journey across the island, and he was going somewhere. But he's like,
Do you think?
stops.
Do you think
starts
the
fishing.
action of him milking those animals has disrupted their natural environmental course? Because they
disrupted my
they
natural
may have never
environmental
gone on
course.
that island before, or they did and there was nothing like, or maybe like. Maybe there was a larger community of porgs, and those animals would get up and eat all the porgs. But until Luke Skywalker's like, I'm gonna milk them titties. Like, they didn't stick around. They ate some porgs and they left. But now they just live there forever.
I mean,
has he affected the ecology of the?
It's a
island?
big island. That's one question I kind of had to. Is I thought about this the other night. Is how he got on the island. I know we have the X-wing in the water.
I liked that. That was nice.
Which I thought, and
I wanted to see it
found
raised
out-
at some point.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna do. He's like after he talks to Yoda, I'm like, I thought he was gonna be like, okay, let's fucking go. But apparently, I did notice that the door, the big metal door he has on his little hut, that's a piece of the X-wing.
Really?
Yeah, the one that Chewie just busts in and like, oh, Chewie, what are you doing here? And I didn't even notice. It didn't look like a piece of the X-wing, but I read it somewhere that's a piece of the X-wing.
I'd have to watch it again.
Because the whole thing is, skipping ahead, I guess, to the final act when, Luke shows up, he's brushing his shoulders off after fucking having every gun firing on that man.
If you're feeling like a pimp, Luke, go on, brush your shoulder off. Leia be crazy too, go on, brush your shoulder off.
I hear a remix coming on. So,
boy.
People always keep asking, it's like, oh, so what? Why did he do that? Why did he project himself through the galaxy? Blah blah. And then you think about it, there was no way he can get off that island. He made it impossible for him to get off the island if he wanted to, because technically, if my Star Wars knowledge is correct, if you were to get in the X-wing and you want to travel, that's fine, but you need an astro droid.
And he doesn't have one
to go into light speed.
So how'd he get there?
So
he just flew it there.
Yeah, you wonder if he just kind of flew till he couldn't fly anymore. Because I think you can still fly it without a droid, but you can't go into light speed. That's what I've read in some books. But so he really made it impossible for him to go back, even if he fucking wanted to. And my little Velcros, I get antsy. I don't have my fidget spinners with me. So yeah, that made it a little, because like, I was really confused about that when I thought of that. I was like, that makes a little more sense, because he had a chance to get on the fucking Falcon and take off.
Yeah,
but he didn't want to. And then Yoda was like, oh, the fucking
it's
boat.
cold in there.
They didn't want it.
It's clammy.
It's gross.
Did you? I need my shows. Will there be Matlock on the Falcon?
I need my snacks.
I've gotten very, very addicted to Diagnosis Murder.
Gotta take a call for work.
Yeah, you want to pause it?
Take a call.
Or do you want to keep going? Or you guys keep going?
Oh, no, we'll keep chit-chatting. Why not?
All right, Mario. We're alone now.
Okay. Now we can talk some shit. Let's see. What
I didn't know that was an aspect of the X-Wing.
Yeah,
but maybe I did, because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Star Wars. So
yes, I read everything about everything, so I was like, I would always go curious, because back then, do you miss like the days when Star Wars wasn't as overhyped as it is now?
Well, I got to be honest. I was 6 or 7 when Phantom Menace came out. Yeah, 6. It came out in '99, right? So it would have been 6.
Same. I think it was 6 or 7.
Look at us kids talking about this shit.
Yeah.
But I had all 3 of the original trilogy in the box set, which I saw, the VHS box set.
I have it somewhere. I can't.
You know what I'm talking about? With Vader, Stormtrooper, Yoda.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have those, and I grew up with those, and just by the time my consciousness had turned to entertainment in general, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. Star Wars was everywhere, and I had, because it was Phantom Menace was coming back, Phantom Menace was coming, so Star Wars was coming back. So all the merchandise just exploded, and God bless my dad. He just bought me all the shit. You know what I mean? Like he definitely should not have.
Oh yeah.
But I had every Star Wars toy, so I knew everything about all the characters before Episode 1 even happened. You know, and I remember I had a big poster for Attack of the Clones of Jango Fett chasing Obi-Wan's ship. Like that was good. I loved it. I knew they were movies with flaws at the time. I knew that the original trilogy was always better movies, excuse me. And I knew they had flaws at the time. But I loved them. It was always something I looked forward to, especially because it was 3 years. It was one every 3 years rather than 2. So it was an event. I remember my life changing as each one came out, because it's not going to now. Because I mean, Force Awakens came out as 23, you know. Now I'm at 25. This one comes out, I'm 27 when the next one comes out. It's not. These are all years that blend together anyway, so it's not going to be. I'm never going to have the nostalgic connection to these movies that I did, even with the prequels, because those were what was happening during my childhood. So that's what 6, 9, and 12. You know what I mean? Like those are big events for a child, and you look forward to them for 3 years. You know, I remember being 6 and going, well, 1977, 1980, 1983. I'm going to have to wait till 2002 to see the next movie. But it I don't know. So I've never lived in a world where it wasn't a thing. I mean, after 2005, it slowed down, obviously.
Yeah.
And the hype that came back around, late 2013 when it was announced. You know.
Yeah, that's why I always felt that there was that big gap of where, same thing with me. It was always there. I remember being a kid and like my first Star Wars experience was seeing Empire on television, like on sci-fi.
Oh damn it! You had commercials.
Yes, he had commercials and all that, but I just remember it's being on, and I don't know. I just got attracted to it, and it was something I'd never seen before, and I got into it. Then I found out, oh, this is the second one. There's like 2 other ones that like come before and after.
Yeah.
So I rushed to the nearest Blockbuster and find the videotapes and take them home and watch them all, and I got crazy about it. Then that's when I found out. I think Episode 1 already happened. It was in theaters. I missed that whole thing. It was when Clones came out. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see Clones. And I was like, oh crap, there's another one before this one.
Yeah.
So I was very mixed up when I first started watching Star Wars. I was very behind, very scattered.
I remember watching A New Hope and the first half of Empire for the first time when I was 4. My mother was at a party with her friend, at a friend's party, and she took me along. And all the kids were regulated to the basement. And one teenager that was watching us put on Star Wars. And I don't remember any of these people, but that was... Yeah. And then my father had the 3 of them on tape. So I'm like, these are mine now. So.
Yeah, because now I feel like we're more spoiled with all the Star Wars stuff. It's like now it's like everybody likes Star Wars. No matter what. I went to CVS.
Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you like Star Wars.
Yeah, I went to a CVS the other day and I saw a kid that was like probably not even older than like 14, and she had like Star Wars Vans on, with the original posters on for New Hope, and like that's cute, I'm like, but do you know the
yes, there's some merchandise that I see that like that's made for people who don't know a damn thing about Star Wars to be like, I like Star Wars too, kind of thing. But I mean, every culture has that. I'm not gonna complain about that.
Yeah. I mean, look at
it's how I roll.
Yeah, the BB-8
But
PJs.
you seem like a Star Wars fan.
Yes.
So
that's fine.
The original VHSs.
Beautiful. The ones I'm talking about, those the 3 with the. Oh, those are the special editions.
Yes.
Yeah, those aren't the originals. Those are the special editions. I do love the art on the special editions. A little damage. The Blu-ray versions are the worst. The Blu-ray versions are the worst of these ones, at least.
Have you ever seen
the art on these? Is great though. I wish it wasn't so damaged.
Have you ever seen them in their purest form?
These ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the only one I saw in its purest form was New Hope.
Yeah, well, like I said, that original trilogy box set with It's like three, like they're like black covers, and one has Darth Vader, and A New Hope's got the face of Vader and the Death Star and the Falcon and some X-wings.
I think I had it when I was a kid.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
I
It's
think I had it
Vader,
when I was a kid.
Stormtrooper, and then Yoda was on Jedi,
Yeah.
and it was the Stormtrooper was the Battle of Hoth, and then Yoda was the Throne Room battle.
I
Yeah.
had it when I was little.
Yeah, those are the original versions, and I also have I recommend this to everyone who is even a fan of Star Wars. You can find it online for free, though I would recommend donating the guy like $5 or $10. It's because this guy's a madman. I wonder if he's just super rich and just doesn't. It's just not actively working on anything else. So this is what he dedicates his time to, but. It's this content creator named AdyWan, AdyWan, like Obi-Wan, but AdyWan. And he basically took every single source of footage from A New Hope and compiled it together to make the essential version of A New Hope. Visually, story-wise, it's the original version. We don't get any bullshit, crappy CGI Jabba. No overload of CGI animals into each shot or creature. You know what I mean? Like it's none of the excesses of the specials. Just imagine the original version, not the special edition. Just the original theatrical version of A New Hope, looking as gorgeous as it possibly can look, but edited with a flair of the prequels. It looks super fresh. He puts in a lot of things like in A New Hope there's no real introduction to the Empire. He's just like, here's the Death Star and a boardroom meeting. Welcome back.
Oh, hey,
Thank you
James
very
back.
much. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Where are we at? What are we talking about?
We're just talking about like the if we ever saw
The
the
original
purist
trilogy.
forms and talking about our kind of first experiences with Star Wars.
I'm telling Mario at the moment, if you haven't heard of it, I highly recommend you find it online for free, but like I said, toss the guy a couple bucks. It's worth it. AdyWan's A New Hope Revisited. And he takes every bit of footage from A New Hope and compiles it into the best version you've ever seen. And as I was saying, it's the theatrical cut of the movie, except it looks phenomenal. And he re-edits it with the flair of the prequels that George Lucas tried so hard to do with the DVD releases. And like things like you know how he changed Boba Fett's voice to be Tamara Morrison. And little things like that. This guy just basically presents A New Hope as you saw it in the theater, but with certain flares of the prequels that you don't even notice until they kick in. For example, as I was saying, in A New Hope, your introduction to the Empire is, boom, here's the Death Star, board meeting. You know what I mean? That's how you're introduced to them.
Yeah.
Like, besides the introduction scene where you see Vader, but the first real reveal of the Death Star is just, there it is, and now you're in a board meeting.
Yeah.
Of all these governors and you know, businessmen and generals just talking about stuff and the state of the galaxy. In the AdyWan re-edit, apparently he did these effects himself, but we get a gorgeous introductory reveal to the Death Star and how massive it is. Because you see like TIE fighters, and then you see a Star Destroyer, and then you see the Death Star, and the Star Destroyers are like that in comparison. And it's beautiful, and it's set to the Imperial March in all its glory. And then you realize, like, this wasn't in A New Hope. They didn't even know, like, this. It was just like, well, we got to set up the bad guys, and they had no budget to do crazy shots like this in comparison to, like, the final movie. Like, the final movie looks great, obviously, but what this guy is doing, AdyWan is doing, it gives it a new edge that I think you'll really appreciate. He re-edits the lightsaber fight. Doesn't add any new footage, just manipulates what was already there and sets it to Duel of the Fates. And
the lightsaber fight in New Hope?
yeah,
Oh, you know
And
what? I saw that on YouTube.
You saw the re-edit?
The re-edited one?
Yeah, it looks
It's fucking
fantastic.
amazing.
He doesn't use any new footage.
No.
Oh, he uses only the footage that he's provided. He just recuts it so that it feels faster paced.
It does,
and
yeah.
that like both of them are legitimately
almost-
in danger because they're so close to each other.
Yeah, it almost seems like there's another actor that's playing Obi-Wan because like you don't really see his face. He's fast moving.
Yeah.
Because he's moving quick. You
Yeah,
can barely
quick
see
cuts.
you can barely see his face.
And it's all footage that already
So
existed in the movie.
honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh shit!" Well, someone like a fan redid this movie, and they got someone else to do it, and it's because it's quick. Vader's even moving fast.
Yeah.
Like they're not just like
Just whipping their
and
sticks
there's
around.
and
you
there's no
can't see
music
me,
in the
but
original cut.
you can't
too.
see me, people, but I'm like moving my hands like like the movie. But
Like he's
it's fucking it's cool, and I didn't know that. That's crazy.
yeah, it's
really cool.
No new footage, just re-edits it to Duel of the Fates. But and like I was saying, this guy's also a madman because he, in the best possible way, he built new models of things like the Death Star. I've followed his work on his re-edit of Empire Strikes Back. He rebuilt the carbonite mold. He rebuilt a Wampa suit. Like he did all of these. He rebuilt models to get new shots to complete this movie. In the sense of, like it's crazy. If you go follow the work this guy's done, your mind's gonna be blown. Like these movies were done. What are you doing this for? And you see the passion is why he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's like these are classic films, but especially A New Hope, nobody wanted to do it. So there's lots of holes in the movie, and that looks great, but
He's remaking the movies the way he wanted to see them.
the way we deserve
Yeah.
to see it. And honestly, it's
That's
not.
beautifully
It's
put,
not.
sir. Beautifully put.
I wouldn't even say that as like a grumpy fan, or like it's not like we don't deserve anything. Like we're just moviegoers. But I feel if you're a Star Wars fan that's stuck through all these changes and been pissed off by the Blu-ray, because I was so pissed by the Blu-ray. I bought the original trilogy on Blu-ray, and when I watched Return of the Jedi, I returned it. Because they add that wonderful no at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But you as a Star Wars fan know in your head, you're like, he's had all these opportunities to make the changes, but he just hasn't made the right changes. You watch this AdyWan re-edit, and you're like, that's the right change. That's the right change. That's the right change. That's the right... It's like
Hire
consistently.
him, Lucas. Well, Disney.
What was that?
I said hire him,
Oh,
Lucas.
yeah, hire AdyWan.
Disney.
Get him on your crew, Disney. It's fantastic, and he even creates it as a DVD file, so you can just purchase or I don't remember how I got it, but you can find the DVD file, and it's got special features, and in the special features are composite shots. He shows you, like, here's how it was in the movie, here's the special edition, here's the re-release, here's the Blu-ray, and here's my version. And you see all the changes, and they're done for the better. There's not one where you're like, that shouldn't have been done. Every single change that you know that needed to be made to Star Wars for the right reasons. Not for, like, a nerdy reason, like, yeah, I don't like that. But in the sense of, like, George, why did you change that? This guy does it all in the sense of, that's what should have been changed. Hey, look at that. Like, Han fires first, you know? Little things like that, you know?
Yep.
Little things that... and he's doing it again with Empire Strikes Back. He just released his color-corrected version of Empire Strikes Back. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah?
It looks better than the Blu-ray. And also, he didn't do it. Somebody else did it. Return of the Jedi despecialized edition. It's just the theatrical release in Blu-ray quality. Because the Blu-ray is the special edition with the Jedi Rocks song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like that's removed. It's the original theatrical cut of Return of the Jedi, just in gorgeous 1080p.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, kids. AdyWan, right?
Yeah.
So look him up. I'm gonna probably look that up tonight.
Yeah, AdyWan,
sounds...
fan re-edit or Star Wars. Just look up AdyWan Star Wars. AdyWan. So worth your time. Seriously, yeah. Yeah, that'll be the only version of A New Hope you ever watch going forward. I promise.
You heard it here first, kids.
Like I a friend of mine told me she had never seen Star Wars. And I'm like, well, then we have to sit down and watch them all. And that's the version I'm going to show her. I'm not going to show her the theatrical cut.
Why not?
Well, it looks like crap now. You know what I mean? Like, you can't find a good-looking version. Like, they released it on DVD in 2004 or something. It looked like garbage. There's like, you can have this special edition of the movie, and it comes with the theatrical cut.
Unless you get a VHS player.
Yeah, it was in like 240p for the DVD, and yeah, I got to get my VCR up and running again. But at this point, I'm looking at those. I'm looking
at VCR people. I call it a VHS player.
Right? But I'm looking at those box set, and I'm being like, if I put those in, how long till they're destroyed? Like I put them in once and they're shredded. I guarantee, because they haven't been played in 20 years. You know.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, you heard it here first, guys who watched that AdyWan.
Coming in at number 26, Odd Casey Kasem.
Casey, that's a good impression.
Thank you.
But yeah, let's somehow get back in the Last Jedi.
Sorry.
Probably start wrapping up.
Talking about all things Star Wars.
Basically, let's see. Let's think of like all in all. What do you guys think of how Luke was portrayed in this movie and how he went out? How do we feel about that?
I think he didn't go out right at all. But,
I'll agree.
We don't necessarily know if he's actually going out. We had that classic line of "See you around, kid," and this is.
He'll come back as a Force Ghost.
Yeah,
he's coming back as a Force Ghost. But
if major spoiler, if Yoda can 30 years later, and it still implies that he's learned things in that time being dead, like Luke is gonna come back.
Yeah, he's gotta have
reading books all dead.
I wonder if he'll be in better shape, because I must admit, Mark Hamill looked awful in this movie.
I don't know, but he looked a lot better. He was ready to play the part. He looks like
before he went through a lot of rigorous workout, regimens, for Force Awakens to turn around and take his hood off, but because he looked like shit before. He looked terrible. He looked like me. Like he had like my body type, and he looked really bad.
That was also something I was wondering about. Like he's hefty on an island that he's been living alone for however many years. You'd think he would have.
There's something in that
milk. Be a little
skinny.
All protein. I mean,
oh sweet! Did somebody bring me a burger?
The way I felt about Luke, I mean, I thought it was because Mark Hamill said it himself too. He just didn't like how, our hero. He's my favorite character, one of my favorite characters in the whole scheme of everything. That he just kind of went out and like really he couldn't like handle it anymore, and he like secluded himself and shut himself off from the Force, and that's not the Luke Skywalker we remember, and it is kind of disappointing a lot of people. That's one of the biggest complaints I heard was the way that.
But
qualm, Yoda did it. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, cut themselves off. Yeah,
they
that makes sense.
Off. Yoda cut himself off. He went
so it makes sense that Luke would, especially in the sense of a tragedy.
He cut himself off from the Force. Obi-Wan did it. He went to Tatooine, looked over Luke, cut himself off from the Force.
Well, with the Yoda thing, they had more of a plan.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did. I think they just knew, just like, we don't have a plan. Let's go where there might not be a war
they knew
and figure
that
one
Luke
out.
And Leia were going to grow up, and then
they
eventually.
Hoped that Luke and Leia would grow up to learn the ways.
But the plan is like, because if you guys watch Rebels,
Obi-Wan hands the baby to Owen and Beru, and then all of a sudden a sand dragon just like comes up and eats them both. It's like, bye baby. Oh, bye baby.
No more Star Wars.
Oh, hi doggy.
Well, if you guys watch Rebels, I know you don't watch much of it.
They deal with that.
I don't watch any of it.
But there's like spoiler. It's out everywhere. But there's a scene. I think it was the last season where Darth Maul finds Obi-Wan Tatooine as the old Obi-Wan that we all know.
And they have a quick little fight.
And then he says, oh, you're taking care of somebody. You're watching somebody. And it's like he's the chosen one, isn't he? Talking about Luke. They always knew Luke was special. And Leia too.
Well, I don't think maybe he was just thinking like, because
like why else would you be here if he wasn't the chosen one?
Yeah.
But I feel like he's always been a very special character, but although pushing forward, he does reveal in this movie, everything you said is talking to Ben.
I do like that. It comes up.
Everything is wrong.
Yeah, comes up a couple of times. I think that was us. I think that was a nod to the audience for. Yeah, don't get too attached to
It's not going
the
to go
Star
the way
Wars.
you think it is. He said that in the trailer. Like, you know, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. And you know, I thought that was interesting. So it definitely shows that Rey's the last Jedi. That's another thing we didn't fucking Rey.
Except little Charlie Dickens. I got me broom. Take a little sweep.
They're saying that's basically going to be the forefront of Ryan's new trilogy.
That's the trailer. That's the commercial for you to come to Disneyland. You take your family. You come to Disneyland. You be Jedi 2, Master Skywalker. What are we going to do?
What did I say?
Is it time for movies? Nap time?
Movie time.
We've been up here with our lightsabers hiding out from these clone troopers for 4 hours now. We're tired. We want a nap.
Is it snack time?
It's just been scary. Real scary.
But speaking of The Last Jedi, Rey, that was another disappointment people had. We didn't get all the answers we wanted.
I liked that. Because it keeps the movies from becoming a question box.
But do you guys believe the outcome?
I don't fully believe.
Like, do you believe Kylo Ren?
I don't know if Snoke's... I don't think Snoke's dead either. Like,
how do you build up?
How do you build up this? I mean,
I think
I do too, because you know what? I fucking love Kylo Ren, and I don't care to admit it. I like Kylo Ren. I really do.
He's a good-looking man. I mean, he's a good character.
But I like the way it develops. I like the way it develops his character. I like the way it develops his character.
What?
But I don't think Snoke is dead. I don't think so, man.
But I definitely think they were right.
Too easy. Too easy.
When they said it in, who's the guy who voices Snoke?
Depending on how he's lit, he's
the guy that he did.
shit.
He did.
He was
Caesar.
Gollum.
He was Gollum. He was Caesar in Planet of the Apes.
I can think of his name.
Reminded me of a comic book version of Punisher.
Dylan, quick. Who's the voice of Snoke?
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Smeagol.
Yep.
Even he said
he's the motion capture too.
Yeah, even he said in interviews, like, Snoke is Snoke. That's
Yeah,
all you gotta know.
Yeah, I think he's just nobody that he just came across a cool path that happened to lead to power.
That fucking pisses me off because you build him up to be this fucking.
But they didn't even build the
major
Emperor up
character.
though. Like the Emperor gets 1 or 2 mentions in Empire Strikes Back. You get 1 mention in A New Hope. 1. So there's an Emperor. That makes sense. And then in Empire Strikes Back, you see the face. You're like, ooh, who's this mysterious character? So it's a natural build-up that I think they did well. And I didn't like Snoke in Force Awakens. And I liked him a lot here because I knew that I had a feeling they're just going to kill him fast. You know what I mean? Like, why not just establish him as a bringer of chaos, and now once you get him out of the situation, how does it resolve itself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like the Joker. You don't need to know where the Joker came from. Like, all the Heath Ledger's Joker specifically. Like, is he a veteran with PTSD? Like, who cares? He's just a weirdo that comes in and is like, this is mine. This is all mine. And then when he's removed, you have to figure out how to work with the pieces you're left.
Yeah.
And I think that I like that aspect of Last Jedi because it's just like, yeah, this is a dude. He's evil. There's a lot of people in the galaxy who are going to think they're evil. And this is just one that just seemed that he's figured out the Force. And when you give a psychopath a weapon like the Force, who knows what the fuck they're going to do. And
how do you just figure the Force out, though? At such an old age.
Well, according to this movie,
does he not have any
anybody can use the
backstory?
Force, it seems. It's not a gift of the Jedi.
Everyone thinks that you have to be like a Skywalker to know the Force.
No, they established that anyone can do it. So this
you
could
need
have
to
just
be
been
a
a
Jedi.
dude. Who knows? This could have just been I mean, if I looked on Wikipedia, what a word. And apparently he's just a dude that was an alien, and he found an ancient Sith stone, and it just used him. It just drove his want and desire to be like them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I find out that's fine. You know, I mean, if he's someone we know, that's great too. At one point in that whole exchange with, I think it's the first time you see him with Kylo, and he comes out with the helmet, and he's like, "You're a boy in a mask."
Yeah, take off that stupid mask.
Yeah, I do like
Take
that
off
part.
your mask, bro.
But like,
Show off your Adam Driver face.
There was one point
Weirdly
where
attractive at some points, very ugly at others.
But there was one point where I'm like, I had goosebumps. I thought it was going to be fucking Sheev, man. I thought it was going to be Palpatine. Because there's this weird kind of like
Sheev?
exchange.
Is that his first name?
Yeah, Sheev Palpatine.
Oh, boy.
Go Palpatine.
When he gets a little hairy, you got to Sheev Palpatine.
Sheev that Palpatine. And there's this weird quote where I saw it a second time that it hit me the same way, where he's like, you know, it's like, oh, you're supposed to, like, I'm paraphrasing. It's like, you know, you were supposed to be this tough
Big Darth
little
Vader
boy.
Jr., bro.
Yeah, he says, like, you're supposed to be a new Vader. And the way he said new Vader, and he kind of paused for a second and kind of smirked. I was like, dude, that almost looks like a Palpatine kind of smile.
Now, see, I think he was, again, if you go back to the theory of he's just a dude, I think he's just using Darth Vader as a thing. Like, hey, I remember everyone loved Darth Vader. He was the Oh, and also there was that whole thing about him supposed to be the chosen one. None of that came true, man.
Remember that guy?
Oh, I'm going to taunt his grandson with it. That's a good, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's like, okay, yeah, we've established, like, he'll I don't know. Maybe he didn't even know Darth Vader. He just knew, like, oh, yeah, I got to get one of the Skywalker kids because they're, for some reason, they're on the spectrum of, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they're just, like, idiot savants when it comes to the Force. Because none of them established as smart. There's not been a smart Skywalker in the bunch.
They're good pilots. They're good pilots.
Good pilots, but we've also established that good pilots aren't smart people. Because Poe Dameron's a good pilot, and he's not smart in this movie.
But he's not a Skywalker either.
He's not smart.
He's a smart boy.
So what didn't you like about the movie? Let's go over that.
All right.
We've spent.
There was no lightsaber fight. I enjoyed the lightsaber moment, but it was not a lightsaber fight, and it left me feeling empty.
I did get bothered with, you know, the Force projection of Luke showing up, and which was cool and all. Fine, I respect it. I understand why it happened, like the whole X-wing thing I was talking about earlier. But I still didn't understand why, because it gave more like dead giveaways about him being a Force ghost, whatever, or projection. Because even Alicia's dad said, "Did you notice that
blue lightsaber?
The blue lightsaber, and that's the
he's not leaving any tracks.
And he's not leaving tracks, so it's like, yeah, but the blue lightsaber really bothered me because
we just saw it destroyed one scene ago, yeah.
And so I'm like, why not? We saw the green one in the hut.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did the green one go, man? I love that saber.
And also, I like, because Kylo Ren's one of the people responsible for the destruction of Anakin's lightsaber. So I like how he's so pissed to see Luke. He doesn't even notice. He's like, he should be like, I destroyed that an hour ago. How do you have it?
Where did you get that? Is that
I saw it blow up.
Yeah, he's so fucking ripshit about it. But I think the whole reason they put him with the blue, like the whole thing was, you know, he got a fresh haircut and he got the new robes. I think he wanted to look the way Leia remembered him, and not look like a fucking Grizzly Adams, like dirty motherfucker. You know, I'm like, you know, and it was kind of nice to see him. Like, I thought that should have been a fucking poster, man. When he's fucking sitting there and staring at all the fucking gorilla AT-ATs and fucking Kylo's ship, and it's just him. It's like he said at the beginning, do you expect me to fight the First Order with a laser sword?
Yeah, just stand there and
he
just
fucking
beat them
does
all.
it.
And he does, yeah.
But,
in a sense, he distracts them, and that's the best part. Like, he's not
all
even fighting;
distraction.
he just made them into fools.
yeah, he legit just fucking does a Matrix moves and like was
That
like,
was a little lame. I gotta admit, the Matrix
But it made
ducking.
sense. But it
Yeah.
made sense. It's like, oh, he's like, because I'm like he's out of body checking him. Come on, like get something going.
I do like that though. He's gotta because if he gives it away that he's not there, it's not enough time. He's got to drag it out for a few minutes.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. So like that, you know, that I had respect for. It's a kind of a bummer. You didn't really get to see a full kind of like, you know, lightsaber scene.
duel.
But
Though I did like the substitution of it, which was a Netflix fight scene, and also one of the problems with the movie is that scene suffers from what every Netflix fight scene or any large scale fight scene does. You've got one person fighting one person, and two people for a split second don't do anything. When they should utilize that split second and grab the person that they're all trying to attack and hold him still so that one person can get some good hits in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's constant. I watched it because it's almost one shot. I'm watching. I'm like, there's so many opportunities for those two and those two. Because there's like 6 or 7 of them. Like, you two, grab her. You two, grab him. Done. Like, I get there's lightsabers swinging around, so it's very dangerous. But wait till he swings. Good. Oh, here, it's out of my range. Oh, I grabbed his arm. Oh, okay, we got you. You know, like you've got regardless of whether they're Force users or not, you get them pinned down enough, you might. I don't know. I see it and I'm like, just grab them.
How did everyone feel about the Carrie Fisher cosmic 7-year-old Peter Pan flying through space?
Let's talk about that because we put that one off.
Yeah, we've put that off for a while.
That, I mean, I'm on the fence with it because I liked it because it's the first time you actually see Leia use the fucking Force.
I mean, you know she can use the Force.
You know, and
I just didn't think it would look so silly.
I thought it looked so dumb how she was just like.
You know what I think they should have done? Explosion. We got characters to focus on right now. Let's focus on them. And all of a sudden, she just floats back in and was like, "Oh shit! What happened?
How the fuck did you get back?"
And because there's a look on as she's floating back, you see them from the window, and there's a look on some of their faces like, "Oh, she's doing this again." Like, hey, sometimes that crazy old bird won't die. Like,
she's doing this again.
But it would have been cool to have a moment where she, like, we just cut back to the characters that are still alive, and then all of a sudden she floats back in, and Poe's like, "Oh shit, Leia's back," and somebody's like, "What?" And he's like, "She does this all the time. Don't worry. It's great when we've got a damn near immortal on our side."
I really thought that's how they were going to put her out.
I did too, and you know what? I feel
20
horrible.
minutes in though.
I know, and I feel horrible for saying this, but her acting is not great. Like,
well, she also hadn't acted in so long.
I get it.
She's been writing scripts.
I get it, but I mean, why do you hire somebody that hasn't been acting in so long to do? I understand
because it's the nostalgia factor.
I understand.
Nostalgia factor,
and I get that. But come on, man, think about the audience. Think about the people that pay attention to things like that.
Yeah, but the audience wants to see.
Yeah, I
want to
really
see her
appreciate
not be a shitty actor.
I really appreciated the scene where Luke and her share a moment. That was nice. That was
nice.
They hadn't seen each other in how many 10 years,
Cry.
And I liked that scene where she pulls herself back in. I did not like the execution. I think that seems to be everyone's problem with it. Like, cool. It's nice to see Leia use the Force, but that was executed so poorly.
It reminded me of Batman v Superman when fucking Superman gets launched into the space.
Oh, that's from Man of Steel.
The Man of Steel?
Yeah, Man of Steel. And he's like super skinny and shrunken, and then the sunlight hits him, and he starts filling back out.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Couldn't even finish Batman vs Superman.
That's right.
Don't blame you.
Can't finish.
Don't watch Justice League.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not doing it. I can't. I don't like any. DC
we are not
movies.
paid by Warner Brothers.
That's a rough movie.
Very rough.
But one scene that I definitely want to talk about, speaking of nostalgia, and whatnot, and Carrie Fisher, that I cried like a baby. Like Alicia dropped fucking tissues on my lap. I was like beyond myself. Is that scene, that exchange between where fucking Luke is on the Falcon, he's turning the shit on, and he sits.
And R2-D2. Oh, good God!
I cried like a bitch.
Oh man!
Because you think about it, man.
I was crying as well.
It's like these guys. Like
none of it would have happened if that loser farm boy hadn't seen this random video carried by a nobody robot. Like
a fucking R5 and fucking
exactly,
bust a gasket,
exactly.
Man. It was like
there'd be no Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like it's and I got so emotional just that one scene of him. Like it was bad enough. I cried just I started getting glassy just seeing them talk because it's the first time you see Luke. Light up. He's like,
he makes
R2.
He makes that face at the end of Force Awakens, but you never hear him talk.
Yeah, but you see him light up. He's
hi, Mark.
smiling, and he's just like, happy to see. And it's his old buddy, and he's freaking out. He's like, "Watch your language, a sacred place." And he's like bouncing around, and there's nothing you can say that will help make me go there. And he tossed that on, and I was like, went down, and help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. And I was like.
Also, did you notice that played a lot faster than them? That video plays like at 1.5 speed in comparison.
It does.
It's like R2's like, I only have a few seconds to wrench this guy's heart. Let me play it at double speed.
It's an old file. It's been in my hard drive for a lot.
The subtitles
of
are glitchy.
No one's updated me in a while, so I mean, I was hidden under an old blanket for a little bit. So
yeah, you guys are paid as a fucking ball all the time.
I'm still playing these videos through Winamp, so.
Someone update me, Christ. But yeah, like that hit.
We can't update you, R2. You're from Apple. It's planned obsolescence. If we update you, you'll break. That's why we had to wipe C-3PO. We had to bring him back to an older version. We're not paying for a new one.
Poor 3PO, man. He gets kind of shit on in this movie, man. And Luke give him that little wink. Master Skywalker. And this gives him a little wink and he walks
Finally, somebody likes me. I forgot what love felt like.
You remember me, right? You remember me?
Another thing that I found to be a little awkward was the fact that Starkiller Base was just destroyed in the last movie, but they still have all this money and all these people to run this giant ship and make these giant ships.
Well, they showed us in the movie with Del Toro, whatever I can say.
Del Toro.
His character, I thought that was
I like
really
that selling.
cool.
Hey, it looks like this guy sold weapons to your people too.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool aspect of the Star Wars universe. You don't see that much.
Yeah,
and
I wonder if that will lead to Finn becoming a pacifist.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
But that made things very interesting. Where
as long as someone's trying to hurt Rey, he's not going to be a pacifist.
That's true.
But just shows that no matter what, everything expendable. No matter what, it's like it doesn't matter. Like he said it too. It's like you blow him today, we're gonna blow him up tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It doesn't matter. It's all war. It's like us.
Yeah, it's just business. Yeah, I liked his character a lot.
Yeah, he was interesting. I wasn't crazy about that weird stutter.
I liked his stutter. It was good.
It was weird.
A little strange.
It's Benicio character acting.
Yeah, like when BB-8 comes down.
He's such a good actor, man.
I did have a problem with BB-8 doing a lot in this movie.
He did a little too much.
Running the fucking AT.
Yeah.
But he was funny. I thought he was funny. I like the whole him spitting out the coins in the jail cell.
That scene.
That
whole segment. We're talking about that scene.
The fucking like alien.
The casino. It's a cool setting, but they didn't
coins in them nonstop.
Yeah, it was just like, I understand like every Star Wars movie has to have that little cantina scene kind of thing,
This one was right back to the prequels.
Yeah, it's like it was cool. It's cool to see a casino in the Star Wars world, but it's like the same thing. It's like if you put in something important, like having, like I said, Lando in for a second or something, give that shit more purpose instead of making it like about like animal cruelty and then like getting fucking Del Toro.
The new Jar Jar.
Also, talking about Starkiller Base, I have a couple of things about that. I have a big issue with the way Force Awakens ended, because I think the best way to do it...
Big issue with the Force Awakens.
What was that?
I said I got a big issue with the Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah, just in general, yeah, there's some issues with it. But rewatching it again, I'm fine with most of the movie as is, because I can separate myself from the original Star Wars in that sense. Like, yeah, I get it, it's a remake of New Hope. What they should have done is have them fail at blowing up Starkiller Base. Awesome. Remake of A New Hope right up until the end, and they don't succeed.
That would have not pissed fans off either.
Yeah, because you got a Death Star the size of the planet. They just failed. They shot the missiles into the exhaust port, but there's 100 exhaust ports. Like, good luck. You found one. There's a ton still out. And I think it would have been a sobering thing. Like, oh yeah, we're fucked. We just put all our resources into doing this, and also the issue of if they just blow up, how do they have so many people still? I have a feeling that they are find an empty planet. How many people are there? 150? Fucking kill them all. Let's turn that planet into a big gun. What does it matter? I don't care about the ecosystem of it. I don't care about the environment or the economy of the people that are on that planet. Wipe them out. Build it into a big gun. So chances are, I have a feeling they probably only had a limited amount of people on that, and it was a test thing.
The amount of time it would have had to take to build a weapon that big would have had to span from
the prequels.
From the prequels to Jedi, like that, to The Force Awakens, to The Last Jedi. That's how much time that would have taken to build something that big. Not only that, but you do have to think of the aspects. A weapon that big, that fires that much power, has to be cooled off. That's why the planet was covered in snow. And I get all that, but I mean, like... all the people that it had to take to run that whole fucking base, and then it gets destroyed, and then you still have all these people and all this money to build dreadnoughts and run dreadnoughts.
Well, I think it's established because it takes place right afterwards, like minutes after. So I think those guns have already afterwards. Those big ships have been there for years, clearly.
So you build this giant planet weapon, and then you build these giant ships that are 20 times bigger than Star Destroyers. It just doesn't. It doesn't.
They
make
all
sense.
have small penises, is the thing. Snoke is very tiny, very tiny.
Not a penis.
He's a tall man, but he's also a very short man.
Yeah. Whatever happened to his face happened triple to his dick.
Those are my only qualms with the movie. Like, a lot of things don't add up. And later on, there's going to be another Rogue One, I'm sure, that's going to explain everything. Because growing up as a kid, I'm always like, why would someone build a fucking a weapon that's the size of a moon, and there's this one exhaust port? If you fire a missile into it, makes the whole thing explode.
I did like
who does that? And then Rogue One filled that hole. But then Disney's also digging themselves new holes.
Han Solo.
Oh boy! I'm not looking forward to this one. I got
it. That's got to be another episode because we mentioned that, and probably
I put an
episode.
article on our Facebook page. I guess sources say that a couple of the Disney representatives are already preparing for Han Solo to fail.
Yeah.
And there's like a fake poster that's been going around.
I'm sorry, Emilia Clarke. You're a fantastic actress. But
no, she's not.
Well, you're a fantastic actress when you're naked and you're in Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I honestly, I'm not a big fan of her acting in general. But the only person in that movie I was looking forward to seeing was Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian.
I just want to see a ship come down and Redbone starts playing.
Yeah, right.
He's going to be Miles Morales.
I love that song.
I can't use the words.
Deal keeps getting worse all the time, bitch.
Yeah. This deal keeps getting worse all the time, but my Pro Tools keeps getting better. And my stand-up. Have you heard my stand-up?
I love his stand-up. His stand-up's really good.
It's okay.
I think it's fun. I think he's funny. He's awkward.
I respect you, Donald.
He is awkward.
I like his awkward humor. I like awkward humor sometimes. Yeah. But all right, folks. I think we're going to start wrapping. I think it's our longest episode.
It's the longest Star Wars episode.
The Halloween episode was long.
That was long.
Last Jedi was the longest Star Wars.
Was it?
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
It was almost cut. The original cut was 3 hours. You had to cut it.
Well, they learned from Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Shit. Yeah, I can only make it through half of that before I learn the movie's going to be terrible.
Yeah. Well, hey, Justice League is only 2 hours.
Yeah.
But that's so they can have turnaround time because
I'm
they
just
know
not going to do that at all.
You don't. Good
I'm not even going to buy it on Blu-ray.
No.
I
Redbox it.
I regret buying Batman vs Superman, even though it came for free because the other two movies that I bought.
Oh yeah, so I mean, it's
like, what did it come?
Can
with?
I return it? And they're like, you got it for free. It's like, you guys just want it back. Like, you can take it back.
Then we'd have to try and
throw it on the side of the highway.
Sir, we're 5. We're closing pretty soon.
Yeah.
But if
we're strawberries.
if you sign up for a discount card, no, fuck you. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Wrestle with you guys for a fucking hour and a half on the phone and try to get that shit canceled.
But that being said, other Star Wars movies in the bag, and we got one more coming.
6.5 out of 10.
I liked it more than Force Awakens.
I give it a strong. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed the
really.
movie. It had its flaws. I judge it by how much fun I had watching it. I had a blast watching it together.
I didn't
a lot of hand taps and like, look at that, it's cool, and shit like that. But I had a good time watching it. And like Force Awakens, same thing too. Rogue One, like I've said before on the show, it's like I'm not crazy about that movie, but I had a good time watching
Character
it.
development.
Yeah. Like that's
die. How can there be character development?
Well, that doesn't need to be. That's not an issue. You can have a character evolve before they die. And honestly, people said that you had to see the ending coming. No, they didn't have to die. They did not have to die. You could have ended that movie.
They
no, you didn't. You could have ended that movie anyway.
Carrie Fisher said they risked their lives. Or gave their lives for these plans. So yes, you know they die.
Oh yeah, huh?
You see that coming.
Yeah, but
True,
maybe one
okay.
that could have escaped.
Yeah, you could have had so much. So you didn't have to kill everyone.
My theory, I think I mentioned the show for moving.
I would have liked to see the blind Chinaman make it.
Yes, Donnie Yen, definitely.
He was the best.
IP man.
Chinaman.
That's what I call him. I know that was racist. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
IP man.
That
I always call him
Oriental
IP
over
man.
there.
Intellectual property, man.
I know.
But
There goes any kind of sponsoring we ever hope to get one day.
We're getting sponsored by Panda Express.
That's not gonna happen.
sounds for a year.
That sounds fantastic.
Ming Garden.
but little orange chicken.
You're ironically wearing your
you make 'em
Japanese
Yeah, this
style.
is the
That's
Japanese,
I do love that shirt.
Japanese
The original
poster for the New Hope.
The original
really
New
nice.
Hope poster with lots of Japanese text.
Well,
over
no, this was the Japanese when when Japan
Yeah.
was promoting the movie. This
That's-
was
yeah.
the original poster.
I do like that poster. It's a nice one.
Look how dope their fucking posters are
it's-
compared to ours.
Well, that's the original poster for the most part.
Yeah,
Minus Tarkin, I think. I don't think Tarkin's on the American poster.
No, he is.
No.
I have the poster.
I have to
in
look
my
at it
room.
again.
I think it's just the kata. This is kanji.
Oh wait, the Tarkin picture
It's
looks
all the
different.
kanji. The kanji's all like it just makes it cooler.
It's a
Yeah.
cool looking shirt. We'll take a picture of it.
I like it. I asked a friend this the other day. He saw it before I did, and I hadn't seen it yet. But I said, and I think maybe we should do this to wrap up. If it's your podcast, you wrap it up however you want. But it's something I wanted to ask you guys. Rank the 7 or 8. It's 8 now. Or rank the 9. There's 9 Star Wars movies. Holy shit! There's 9 Star Wars movies.
Andrew Lim actually did that on his Facebook, and I went along with it, ranking all the movies. So I think I remember my list.
So let's start with worst. And go
Worst. Oh, I could go that way.
on. That's
Attack
kind
of the
definitive.
Clones?
Yeah.
Attack of the
I-
Clones. That's an easy one.
Attack of the Clones is my bottom. It takes it
Hold on,
all
I
the
gotta
time.
think.
It's my bottom.
I think I went 1. Start from worst to best. I think I went 1, 2, 3. Rogue. Oh my god.
Now here's where it gets decisive.
I remember going. Let me do it the other way because I remember the other way.
All right, let's start with best to worst.
Empire,
definitely.
Empire, Hope.
This is where
I
it's
put-
It's fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's not
Empire,
tough. It's just
Oh no, I put Last Jedi. I put
really.
Last Jedi
You
as
put
3.
Last Jedi over Return of the Jedi?
Return of the Jedi. Oh wait, no. I could probably go back to the post. I think I did it like that. Hold on, let me think. Nope, because I put Force Awakens at 3.
Really?
Force Awakens. Then I did Jedi. Then I did Last Jedi, and then I did I think Rogue, and I did all the prequels going
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
if I go worst, it's gonna be Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi. Then I love the originals. My favorite would be Empire.
Yeah. So I'm kind of similar as 2, 1, 3. This is going from worst to best. So Clones, Phantom, Revenge of the Sith. Then I'm gonna go Force Awakens.
Yep.
Last Jedi, Rogue One, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, Empire, and at the very top, Holiday Special. So,
Oh, that's got to be at the top. That's got to be at everyone's
did
top.
you guys celebrate Life Day, by the way?
We do.
Oh.
And
Hey,
Festivus.
let's see that smile.
And Festivus.
Speaking of Festivus and holidays, I thought a good way to end this, to not go on a Star Wars note. This is our last episode of the year, and we mostly talk about movies on this. We talk about video games and whatnot, comic books, but we do a lot of movies here. I would like to hear you guys, and you can jump in too, Dylan, obviously. Your top 5 movies of the year.
Of this year.
What'd you guys like this year? I have a feeling I know
I
what
didn't
Ian's gonna
see
say.
a lot of
Yeah,
movies.
same.
Huh? It was good.
What year? Did
What was good?
It.
What?
Who's on first?
Stephen King's remake of it.
Well, you want to go
It
first
was
since you
okay.
posed the question?
Yeah, my top 5. I'll go 5 to 1. 1 and 5 of the doors. I think 5 for me was
The Mummy.
Don't talk about that movie. Oh, we had a whole episode talking shit about that.
Oh, boy.
They canceled that, by the way. The Universal
Did they?
Monsters thing, not doing it anymore.
Oh,
They're like,
sweet.
They're like, Mummy was really bad. We shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
call. And
Good
Angelina
call.
Jolie had distanced herself so far from Bride of Frankenstein.
5 for me. A lot of them are superhero movies. I loved Wonder Woman. See, Wonder Woman. I'll probably put, let's see, Spider-Man Homecoming, Ragnarok. Loved Ragnarok. And was that 3 right there? So 2 more. And I put Last Jedi at 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as number 1.
Really? Are we just going with movies that came out this year or movies we saw this year? Movies that came out this year?
You could do both if you'd like.
Because I didn't see a lot of movies that came out this year. I still need to go see Ragnarok, which is...
I do too.
You'll have a good time.
Yeah, I believe it.
I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's on Netflix.
I saw 2. That was fun. That was
Oh,
fun
yeah, you're on
in
Netflix. Yeah,
theaters.
you can watch on Netflix.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will remind you of Return of Jafar. That's the best comparison I can make for that movie. It's like, more of what you love. Kind of. And a weird dude by Kurt Russell.
One of the best soundtracks. I still have.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I still have
Yes.
it on my spot. I listen to it almost
Fantastic
every day.
use of the chain.
Oh yeah, and Brandy.
So,
you're
yeah,
fine,
yes,
girl.
yes.
I love that song.
But my love, my life, my love, my lady is the sea.
That's so good.
That was good. I'd say that's good. I wouldn't put it in my top 5. I would say Last Jedi is in my top 5 of movies that came out this year. Number 1, because I'm just jumping around. The best movie I saw that came out this year was Get Out.
I want
Really?
to see
That was
that's on HBO now. So
fantastic.
I want to see it.
Fantastic.
That's what's his name?
Yeah.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Which is because it's kind of like set the tone for that movie. It's kind of like it's a horror movie,
Yeah.
right? But it's like
Have you've seen it?
I've just heard a
Watch
lot
it.
of good
Very
things
good.
about it.
Also, once you watch it, if you go to watch it again, imagine Jordan Peele in every role. And you can see it. If you watch enough Key and Peele, you can see him do every single role.
You should have did that. It was hilarious.
Nutty Professor, too. Get Out.
Farties. From Tropic Thunder, Farties, where
Oh, yeah.
Jack Black plays every character.
Yep, yeah. Oh, yes.
More
Oh, my
beans.
God. Never go full retard.
Granny, ew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're just mad because I'm skinnier than you.
My favorite quote
I'm
from that
not.
movie is Robert. I don't care what anybody says. Robert Downey Jr. That's his
He's
best
great.
performance, man.
Yeah.
I don't read a script. Script reads me.
Yeah.
I don't go out of character till DVD commentary drops.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, so good.
That movie's
It really
timeless.
is. It's so underrated, man. It
Yeah.
really is.
That movie's timeless to
And
me. I love that movie.
I will say, actually, going back to Robert Downey Jr. Homecoming was one of my favorites this year.
Yep. I
Big
love
time. Yeah, I
Homecoming.
watched that again the other night. Wonder Woman, I wouldn't put that up there. It's good, but
I haven't even seen it. I don't go out of my way to see any DC movies because
it
they've just been
shouldn't.
so shitty.
Well, Wonder Woman, it's very different. It's definitely the strong. It's just a really strong movie. I mentioned it on my review. I did like a solo review on the site. You know, it was just kind of nice to see, you know, a woman in charge. We've seen it before, obviously, but you know, my girlfriend who's like, she's more of a casual fan of like stuff like that. She's a big Harry Potter fan, so she doesn't really care much about like
ooh, sorry, real quick. Did you guys get a Harry Potter vibe in Last Jedi?
a lot.
Yeah.
The mirrors.
Voldemort, have made the connection between your brains.
I was just saying it to Alicia today too. The other day, she's like the whole mirror. scene.
That was the plot of Order of the Phoenix.
It was, yeah. So basically, she'll get a kick out of that.
But yeah, I haven't seen so much from. I'm sorry, continue. I apologize.
But you know, I just thought it was kind of nice to like when we saw it like on the middle of the week. I didn't see it for opening, and we got an empty theater basically. It was like maybe 2-3 other people in the theater, so we're right in the middle, and it was nice. And you know, like some of the action scenes of her just kicking ass, like her in No Man's Land. That's like kind of going up the ladder and kicking ass with the shield.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
And you know, it's just like seeing her eyes light up, Alicia's eyes light up, and like really getting into it, and like because me, I have my Luke Skywalker, I have my Spider-Man, I have my Thor. Not many women have like that one to look up to, but we have Rey. That's great too, But like it was kind of nice to see. That's what made the movie special for me. Not just the movie itself, but just the effect it had on people.
Yeah,
So
I will say the
all
movie
those.
itself was super cookie cutter and not that interesting.
Yeah.
Because it was, I think it was, they basically gave us the formula for Iron Man, but with Wonder Woman, and it's really banking off people that haven't watched any of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I love Wonder Woman. That's the first female superhero movie. Well, how many of the Marvel movies or even the DC movies you watched? Oh, good. So you're not going to notice this is the exact same plot as all of them. Just. Oh, and if you didn't see that Lupin was the villain coming 7 miles away.
Lupin, another Harry Potter reference.
But the second he walks on screen and he's like, "Oh, woman in the room here," everyone's like, "Oh, a woman who? How could?" And he just goes, He's the villain. The villain. You're the only person not getting upset about this in a room full of 1920s men. You're the villain.
Exactly.
Did everybody do their list? Did your list already too?
No.
So do you have a top 5?
I liked Homecoming.
It was great.
I enjoyed it. It was good. Let's see, new movies.
I've seen so little new movies this year. I
I
can relate if you haven't seen much.
I haven't seen much. No.
I haven't seen. I really want to see
I haven't
Baby
seen
Driver.
Thor.
Oh, Baby Driver! I did see Baby
I have
Driver.
not seen Baby
that was
Driver.
great. Baby Driver was great.
I've not
that
seen
one
Baby Driver.
That one I've been.
Yes.
If I saw it, I'd probably have it on my list.
Baby Driver was very good.
I heard it's
yes.
very fun.
So the best movies I saw that came out this year were Baby Driver, Homecoming, Last Jedi, and Get Out. And those were the best movies I saw that came out this year. The best movies I saw this year, I'm going to add Spectre, because I did not see Spectre when it came out. And it's now
Spectre.
a couple years old. Actually, we're talking about Bond movies. I rewatched all of them this year.
Yeah, me too.
So there were a few.
That day we talked, I was like, I'm going to start watching it again too.
There were a few that I hadn't seen ever. Like, I'd never seen License to Kill. That was nice.
Let's go.
So...
If we ever have a James Bond cast, I want you on that.
Well,
I feel
yes.
like you're the only friend I have that really.
We did a James Bond cast. With
Yeah,
Matt.
when
Roger
died, yeah, we talked about him.
Actually, having watched Spy Who Loved Me again last week, not a big fan of Roger Moore.
He was
Nobody
funny.
did it better, but everyone did it better.
Cannonball,
did it
Cannonball
better.
Run, man.
I love Cannonball.
I have to warn you. I'm Roger Moore.
I have to watch Cannonball Run.
That's a funny movie.
It's
It's
a good
like
one.
Rat Race, but like back in the day, Dean Martin's in it.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds is a star of the cast.
And Roger Moore's in it?
Yep.
Yeah, he plays himself.
He
It's
plays
so funny.
himself.
Oh, awesome.
But he acts like James Bond.
But he
you
acts
know?
like James
He has
Bond.
the
I
Aston
have to
Martin.
warn you, though. I'm Roger Moore.
I am.
I was
He gets his
like,
ass
what?
kicked.
Oh, man, I need to watch this. Oh, good lord.
Yeah,
look
you
it
gotta
up.
see it.
Yeah, the more movies are not my favorite Bonds.
With me, it's like
Pierce Brosnan.
God, no. No, my favorite...
It's Connery for me.
Yeah.
My favorite Bond movie is probably it's probably a split between Casino Royale or On Her Majesty's Secret Service, or Quantum of Solace, because it's not a Bond movie.
Yeah, I like.
It's it's a Bourne movie, but it's good. It's a damn good movie.
Connery can rock the romper.
Oh,
Pull it
yeah.
off.
That's right.
Oh,
he has
yeah?
the romper.
He walks out in like a baby blue romper.
Yeah. I thought you were
And
saying,
it wasn't weird.
for a split second, I thought you were saying something. He rocks the romper. I'm like, did he just knock somebody up or something? Like, is Sean Connery having another baby at 85 or whatever?
Miss Moneypenny.
He probably could.
Come here, sweetheart.
So much
Stan Lee.
so much of oh my god, so much domestic abuse in those movies, man. You see him, he bitch slaps a lot of bitches in those movies, man. You fucking whore.
Look out, man. Man talk, sweetie.
You minx. I love Connery. But yeah, man, I think
Let's end our podcast on domestic
Yeah,
abuse.
it's a terrible thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Almost 10
Yeah.
o'clock. We gotta.
Also, if we get let's jump to the other end of that spectrum. I wanted Kylo Ren and Rey to just make out so badly.
Right?
Just make the fuck out. Just do it.
And then later
Just
on, they find
do
out they're
it.
cousins,
Do it.
and it's like, what?
But you know what? Like, seriously, like, oh, Kylo, the battle's over. We have time to stop these ships. And you see he's not interested in stopping those ships? Fuck him. Like, fuck him. Because you guys will be so distracted. You can help all your friends out. You know, like, there's got to be some... what happened? Where's... sorry.
No, it's okay.
So he gets super excited.
Of course, I forgot.
Little ham bacon in the oven in the other room.
No ham baking in the oven.
No, not that. No, not that ham. Not that bacon. Not that oven.
He has a baby, ladies and gentlemen.
But now I forgot where I'm at.
I heard somebody in the theater when the whole exchange was happening, and he put his hand out.
Oh yes.
Someone said, Rilo.
Yeah, honestly, they
It's gonna be on the cover of her paper in the Galactic Empire.
I mean, real quick, that's what it felt like. I felt like they were
They're a
like
thing now.
they were like two
Get over
teenagers
it.
texting each other when the whole Force. was
Right?
like, it's
Imagine.
Like, whoa, you like the Force too?
Oh
No
my
way,
god,
me too.
I'm wet. Are you
yeah,
wet?
yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, Kylo's. That wasn't rain. That was juices. That was human juices.
He was very nervous.
What are you
But-
doing in that island, Ray?
But imagine if everything, like in the third half of the movie, like for all the other characters, just came to a halt, and everyone's like, "Why is everything stopping?" And then it gets to the throne room, and you like tangle in the gold like robes of Snoke are like tee tee, and they're just like like two little kids,
Oh man,
fucking like jackrabbits under there.
nothing wrong with
And
that.
the end of Star Wars.
Use the Force.
Well, there's no reason for a war anymore. We're just no. If Jedi and Sith can make love, why can't the rebels in the First Order?
Put that on the poster. But all right, guys, I gotta hit the e-brakes on this before we take off into the dimension. We'll e-brake on the X-wing as we talked about earlier.
Told you we should have made this episode a two-parter.
No, it's gonna be.
I like
we
long-
can go for another 2 hours, man. I'm telling you.
It's the last podcast of the year, so we gotta go big, go
Yeah.
home.
That's true.
So last one of the year, we'll probably
Episode 1.
episode 1, Return of the Friggin'
See you
Nerds.
next year, people.
Yeah, so
Hey, I wouldn't be opposed to do it movie by movie if you want me to come back.
Dylan, whenever you want to come back,
Yeah,
you
man.
let us
Go
know,
movie
man.
by movie, and
Absolutely.
that way we can talk about
If you
one.
want to come
'cause-
back next week or fucking next month, whenever we do the next one,
I'm
you're
just-
more than
I think we
welcome.
should do that because we jumped around a lot because the focus was Last Jedi, but we ended up jumping
Yeah,
all over
the place.
Yeah, so I think if you guys want to go one movie at a time, like you can even torture me and be like Phantom Menace first. I'll watch it from. I'll watch it. I mean,
All
you
right.
hook car batteries to my
Let's-
nipples if you want. You know what I mean? If you
Let's do it. Let's do the second thing you said, and then we'll watch the movie.
oh, it has to be at the same time. I can only appreciate the Phantom Menace
Fine.
with small shocks
He's
to my
if you're in
niplets.
pain.
Yeah, I was thinking about because I definitely want to.
And then Luke Skywalker needs to milk me.
milk me, Luke. Milk me like one of your
That
French
thing
fries.
you shared on Facebook where Luke is fucking milking Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Kylo Ren with the fucking big chest. He's milking him.
Kylo Ren and Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
my
yeah, the
lord.
face swap. No, did you see the face swap of them? No,
Kylo
the face swap of Keanu Reeves and Kylo
Oh,
Ren.
you're gonna have to
and-
show me
and
this.
Adam Driver
Well,
is
sure.
like
Oh,
you
boy.
can't even fucking tell. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll show you all the memes. But yeah, guys. So quick housekeeping before we take off. So as always, we always take forever to do episodes lately because we have busy lives. But we're gonna try to go in strong next year. We're working on this video format. That could be a fun concept. You know, we'll do a video format of like us watching the movies on a couch.
And the guest
like,
is behind the camera, so you never see him.
We could do like a what's that show? Mystery Science Theater. We could do a
3000.
Star Wars version. That'd be fun.
And then
Well,
we can watch Fanboys because Fanboys is
I
awesome.
like Fanboys. That's
I
a
watched
fun
it,
movie.
I watched it the other day after
It's
The
a
Force
fun-
Awakens.
That's
Well,
a
there
fun
we go.
movie. Yeah,
It's
it's a really
great.
good movie. And imagine that movie was made in between all this stuff. So that's kind of like you could do it again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you, just,
They can do another Fanboys.
yeah, that'd be
It'll
cool.
probably be Fangirls though because the main character's a girl now. So it'd be Fangirls. All these characters, all these girls are around. They all love Rey.
And you bring back the main cast of
Exactly.
fanboys as the parents.
Oh.
Yeah, there you
Why are
go.
you guys getting all excited for this? In my day, we barely got excited for Phantom Menace. Like, Dad, there was a whole movie made about you getting excited for Phantom Menace.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll do some cool stuff like that. Dylan, you're always fucking welcome.
I would love to come
Absolutely.
back. Honestly, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to have movies up and we skip through them and go to
Yes,
talk about
that's
specific points.
That's a
and-
fucking great idea.
We're working on a video.
I like that
We
one.
both went to New England Tech together.
Yeah,
so
we
we could figure something out.
I
There you
know
go.
how to use a toaster.
I could
Oh,
make you a pop tart.
Was that day one at New England Tech?
It's a BB-8 toaster, dog.
But all right, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's the freaking nerd.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I've just been presented with the face swap of Adam Driver. and
Then we put
Keanu
that
Reeves.
on the freaking nerds page.
That is incredible. I love also.
Right?
I love how it's the undercover boss picture. Kylo Ren as undercover boss.
I love
You
it.
couldn't even tell. Like, it's insane.
And it's posted by Mark Millar. That's even better.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That is hilarious.
Well, on that note, guys, another great year. It's our first. We made it through a year of this.
Made it through a year.
Well, we
I'm
started
happy to
midsummer. So yeah, we definitely want more.
I want to come back.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And
your energy is intense.
if
I
I'm,
like it.
well, thank you. If I
told
may
you.
plug something that doesn't exist yet,
Please plug away.
but it will. So my good friend Dylan Walsh and I did a podcast called the Dilly Squared Podcast, and it took a hiatus for a while. And now, since Nicole and I are moving again, I told you about this.
Yes.
Moving to a house full of our best friends who are super creative people. So it'll just be creativity all the time. And my friend who lives on the first floor says, "You're not moving into my house unless you bring back the Dilly Squared podcast." So I say, "You damn right I will." And so we'll be having guests on there as well. So we'd love to have you guys come on at some point.
It'd be great, man.
And Dylan Walsh isn't a big Star Wars fan that I know of. He might be. If you're listening to this,
Does he
buddy.
like Looper?
What?
Did you like Looper?
Probably. I don't know. We
talk
Dylan,
about
you and I need to talk movies, but we're going to have these gents on at some point to talk Star Wars.
Well, we talk about everything. Star
Yeah.
Wars, Marvel, comics. We talk a lot of comics.
I'm a big comic book reader.
So yeah. So we'll have more cool stuff like that. Check out the Dilly podcast.
Dilly Squared.
Do you have any music you're
Flavors. Dylan Titus Flavors is on Spotify. Spotify, iTunes, all those good sites. Stay tuned next year for a new record. Also,
which I think I'm on. I'm on.
You are on it. Mario Lima is on it. Mario is like for another Star Wars reference, Mario is like the double lightsaber fight. He shows up every other record. And sorry to shamelessly plug, but definitely check out How's About Charlie. It's a new band out of Providence. How's About Charlie? And their new record Waves will be out next week. So definitely check that out.
You heard it here, guys. We'll find some links. I'll spread it. We're on YouTube right now, so we'll put you at the bottom of the caption.
Sorry for shameless plugs.
No, plug away. Anything you want to plug, man.
Yeah, absolutely,
We'll
man.
be plugging later, Mario.
Get the car battery
BB-8
ready.
did a lot of plugging.
Get the car battery ready and Phantom Menace, 'cause things are gonna get real.
Things are going to get hot and steamy in here.
But all right, guys. We're Friggin' Nerds Media. I've been Mario Lima.
James Finch.
And I'm Dylan Titus.
And Happy New Year, guys. We'll see you next year. We're going to get bigger, better, and a little sexier.
I love you.
Stay friggin' nerdy.
Andrew Lima, call me.
Greetings, spider friends. You've just been listening to another episode of Friggin' Nerds Podcast. For more episodes, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on SoundCloud at Friggin' Nerds Media. Excelsior!